So again, you can just make an investigation check as kind of a what the hell
Yeah, I
roll.
think that's what I'll do at this point.
Okay. Yeah, you have no idea where to start. You counted probably at least 30 bodies. You hear some wailing and weeping. You see some people looking at bodies a little jealously. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but like seem to be looking with longing. Others look as if they, kind of licking their lips. These people are fairly desperate, and you get all the way out to the wall, and that's kind of all you see as you go along. You do realize, because Kasim would have familiarity with just the importance of sanitation and preparing military camps, that it's kind of odd that the poor part of town's on the west side of the, it's upstream basically. Usually nicer parts of town are upstream, so they have cleaner water. So you would guess, this is almost like the back of your mind, you would guess there must be other water sources coming through or something that makes that so the rich haven't just taken over this area yet.
Okay. I think I'm going to go back to the gate that got destroyed.
You're there.
And then climb one of the towers there and just start there surveying the amount of damage that radiates from there, because that's really where the failure began.
So you stand up on the tower, so you get up on the big one. It's a little taller than the other ones for the sake of narrative. You see 3 rays almost leaving from the gate. And one of them you see got stopped fairly short, and that was the ogre that you guys ran into. You came back. You just, the other bodies of ogres that you guys fought here are still theirs, as is the body of the manticore. The other 2 kind of rays went very, very far, and they seem to go like very, very straight. So one of those things, but none of them made it to the wealthier areas where you saw some damage in town, like in the nicer buildings. They didn't make it quite that far, or they made it like to the edge of that, but not into it. So there's some damage that had gone on that whatever these forces, these ogres had done, they were probably the ones responsible for it. Or if they were, you're not sure how.
Okay. Well then, I will travel down each of the rays in turn, looking for people who do look like they know what they're doing in the way of searching for bodies and offering my aid.
So you don't see people searching for bodies. Remember, this is only a few hours after. Most of you see people walking around a little shocked. But you do find one old man with a small group, maybe 10 or so people kind of sitting around him, and he's speaking to them. Seems to be leading them in some kind of prayer service, but it's not any kind of prayers that you are familiar with.
Okay, I'm not going to interrupt his prayer, but when he seems to come to a obvious pause of some sort, then I will approach him and speak with him.
So Kazim, as he watches this prayer, he kind of falls into a reverie of his own, kind of contemplative. It's actually very peaceful, surprisingly calm, even though there's chaos all around you. Some part of you is questioning how it could be so calm in this kind of the circle of this man's voice. But most of you just doesn't really care. And as that calm falls over you, you are no longer in this place. You hear the voice of your old master, the general, speaking. He's giving direction to some of his captains about organizing the men, about morale being important. And you're remembering that this seems to fit a time when he had lost a pretty significant battle. And most of the people in the camp had been talking as if the war was over, they lose to a competing sheik. But your master was continuing to rally the troops and push forward, and telling them that in this time we must watch out for one another, and that they were to be leaders and to direct their men and basically give them heart. And as he was doing this and kind of going a little bit into their history and why they could succeed, you could saw their spines stiffen, and they left with renewed vigor. And then as that is happening, you notice, your eye catches that a detail that there was a sword on a table, and it seemed a sword, and your master has several swords, and this sword is not the one that is probably his nicest sword. It's more worn than others, but there were some very fine, essentially calligraphy. You guys I don't know if you're familiar with like Arabic style writing, but that kind of calligraphy all around the hilt and some up the blade, etched into the steel. And you know that you're not sure if it was made as a weapon, and that calligraphy is supposed to be some kind of blessing. You were never that good at reading this particular script, but more on the hilt of the sword that you're holding.
Hold on, you just barely came back. I completely lost you for a minute there.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
You can hear me now?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay, so you heard the Arabic script asking if you knew what Arabic script looked like, right?
Yeah, and then I was never good at reading that kind of script, but then that's when you cut out.
Yeah, so this particular script, there are other scripts that would look similar. You could do this particular script was a little bit more ornate. Not ornate. It's like more for like the holy men, the mullahs, the people who studied the scriptures, basically, where there was more common, less fanciful scripts that you would have been using in your daily life. But your thumb is kind of running over, like you walk up to the table and you kind of start running your fingers along the script, and as the memory fades, your fingers are running along this script, much more worn on the sword that you're holding. And you're not sure what the combination was, but this memory is more vivid than other memories you have, though you've often thought back to your master's tent, basically with fondness. But perhaps just having the sword, it's kind of tied, that made that memory more real. You're not certain if this is the same sword, but certainly a similar design one.
Okay.
But the main message from the memory, I guess, or the main point that you kind of reside with, isn't so much of the sword. In fact, again, you're just kind of thinking it's more in your back of mind, but just the importance of leaders in times of loss to rally people, and that the leader can kind of turn things around if they stay kind of focused and hopeful themselves, but they have to project that hopefulness.
They have to what? Sorry?
Project hopefulness, kind of an optimism into their soldiers.
Okay. Can we? Well, I guess Nasima isn't here yet.
Kind of as you're coming out of the memory is when there's a natural pause.
Okay, so
she's not. By the way, though, if Nasima becomes important for roleplay, I will fill in for her.
Okay.
And I might even play her in combat, depending on where we end up getting, because there are some fights where you guys will need the full Monty to not die. So look forward to that.
Yay. Okay.
Rashad immediately goes to sleep.
So I approach the leader and I approach him to start speaking with him. Hello, my name is Kazim. I bow.
Hello, Kazim.
Is there anything that I may do to assist you at this time? You have suffered some loss, and I would alleviate some of that if I could.
He looks at you with kind of a raised eyebrow. You would help those such as we? His speech seems a little more educated, more refined than you would expect from people in this part of town.
I would help those in need, and if you are in need, then yes, I would help such as you.
Well, there are parts of the area where we have not yet gone, or we have heard heavy breathing greater than that of a man, and we fear that there is a monster trapped there. And there are no guards that will come help us at this point. They're all in the ploy of more important families.
Uh, that is understandable, though regrettable. I will indeed come and assist in finding the truth of this matter. Perhaps instead it is someone that we can still yet save.
Says, perhaps. I will lead you. And he points to,
Thank
and he kind of gestures at a couple other people who kind of step up as well.
Thank you. Thank you all.
As you're walking, you see that the two other people that are coming along have very large, kind of fire-hardened sticks with them, clubs, basically. So they're very poor weapons, but they are armed. They're definitely more effective than just being barehanded. Okay. And the man that was leading the prayer leads you probably almost a quarter mile into the shanty town. So this shanty town is quite large. And as you're walking, you see that there's actually a lot of bodies in the, I don't know, I can't call them streets, but in the mud and in the dirt. But none of them, these ones, you become increasingly convinced, are not victims of violence, at least not last night's violence. They seem to be, ribs poking out, visible signs of illness, things like that.
Okay.
But you also occasionally do see a body that's put like head crushed, body, like ribs caved in, something where it was clearly something got hit perhaps by an ogre. And very occasionally you see signs of a shanty being knocked down, but not the normal, crush that you've seen other ogres do if they slam through one. Eventually you get to a building that is half a building, another half is kind of shanty boards, put up, canvas, hanging out. But the part of it that was stone is collapsed down, and there's wood beams from what would have been a roof over. And you hear some very loud grunting and kind of breathing coming out of there. And every now and then the rocks shift, the stone shift.
Okay, so at this point I gesture for the two other fighters, I guess, to stand back for just a moment, and I cautiously approach the rubble pile. Does it seem like this guy's pretty well pinned still?
Well, you can't see him.
Okay, that's a good sign. So the rubble is not immediately shifting off of him in large quantities.
That is correct.
Okay. As I get a little bit closer, I'm going to call in down there. Hello? Who is it that we find in our presence?
The rumbling stops for a moment. The guy that traveled with you said, who kept walking up with you, even though you tried to get in front of everyone, he stayed with you. Mm-hmm. Looks at you and says, "Where were you educated, son?"
Far over the ocean.
Ah, you're a foreigner. That explains why you're helping us. Because foreigners, or where you come from, you're not so put against the horde. And he turns back, and during this little conversation, continues to be silence from the girl.
Can you hear me speak? Do you understand what I am saying?
You hear a voice say very slowly, "Hurt."
I understand. Now, you attacked this town last night. I am going to try and get you out of the rubble, but should you make any misstep and attack the citizens, I will end you. Do you understand?
You don't hear anything.
What's that, sorry?
You don't hear anything. No response. So you wait a few, 10 seconds, which feels like forever. Nothing.
I go back to the two men who are waiting, and I take two of the hammers off my belt and hand them each one. This will do better than those sticks. Stay back for a bit longer. I do not know if he is of his mind, some of these creatures can be reasoned with, but other ones have been somehow damaged that I do not understand. I suspect magic. And I turn around and go back to the pile and begin shifting it gently, not gently, how would I put it? Cautiously, so that I'm not freeing a huge amount of weight all at once.
Mhm.
I'm hoping to reach the creature before the creature is able to really move.
It's good to hope for things.
Well, do you understand what I'm saying, though, in the way that I'm moving the rubble? I'm not just, discarding all of the rock. I'm picking a specific area and basically burrowing.
So what I'm hearing you say is that by selecting some mass instead of other mass, you can make it so that the ogre is suffering from the effects of the mass while you are
not. Why would I be suffering from the effects of the mass?
Basically, it gets out of your way, and yet they're still restraining the ogre. That is your goal.
Yeah, that is my goal.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get down to something like the leg or arm, preferably the leg, because I think they can do less freeing of themselves with just a leg.
Roll me 3 strength checks.
Okay.
High rolls mean you're in more control. All right, so you are able to get a leg. Actually, it ends up being both legs. I mean, you can see really one leg and then a little bit of the other one. There's a heavy beam across them still. One of the legs is moving, trying to kick at the ground, to get purchase or something.
Okay, then I go back up a little bit further on the pile, around where he is, so I'm not adding extra weight to him. Again, can you understand me? Are you going to attack?
Hurt.
I understand that it hurts, but if you attack these people, I must end you, and it would be much more merciful to end you now than to end you in combat.
Oh man, you definitely think these ogres are good conversations. You get no response.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to try and find a place where I can open up a vein without doing too much pain.
Wait, vein? What do you mean?
I want to bleed him out without causing him too much suffering. So I'm thinking the inner thigh or something like that is where I'm going to cut him open.
You're going, okay. You're just making an attack, basically. So.
Okay.
Well, there's not really a mechanic for it. Roll me, a medicine check, I guess. You don't really know ogres that well, so you kind of end up perception check or investigation.
Okay, so let's see.
Let's see. Let me set the DCs first.
Okay.
That's probably not too bad. Okay, go ahead.
So which do you want me to do first? Medicine?
No. Do the perception or investigation check first.
Okay.
Okay. You find what looks like it is a vein.
Okay. And then what's the next check you want me to do?
Medicine.
Medicine check? Okay.
All right. You open up a vein in his thigh. It starts bleeding fairly quickly. When you do that, you now know, you're convinced it's an ogre, shouts, starts thrashing harder. Some stones roll down. You kind of dodge back, and the thing stands up. It looks at you for a moment, and it looks just hurt and angry. And then something seems to flash over its face, and it looks enraged. Because I'm assuming you were not entirely surprised by this.
No. I was a little bit surprised that he was able to lift himself up so easily, but
you should be able to see your token now. So easily, you don't know if it's easy or not. You don't get to see what all the mechanics and crap are. You got up.
Okay, sorry, I misspoke. I'm surprised that he was able to get up when before he was not.
Did you roll initiative?
Oh, I didn't know that that's what you wanted me to do. Sorry.
Please roll initiative.
Oh, I gotta find my token to do that.
Top.
Ah. Okay. No. There we go.
Okay. So again, you see rage come over this ogre's face.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and strike him. And does a 10 hit?
It does not.
Okay.
Okay, it's his turn. You can see the blood is still flowing out of his thigh. He picks up a beam off the ground and swings it at you.
Okay.
All right, it's your turn.
Attack again. Does a 13 hit?
13 does it.
Okay. So then I'm going to go ahead and spend one of my superiority dice. And I am going to... Yeah, we'll go ahead and try to trip him. And he has to save versus 14 strength.
Okay. He succeeds. Okay. After your attack, the two other guys rush in, and they make some attack rolls. We'll give them. We'll assume they have some. They're stronger than the average random peasant. But they both still miss because they're unlucky random peasants. All right, so they swing their hammers. They're in close. The ogre roars in rage, swings his great club at one of them.
Okay, are they within range where I can intercede?
Yeah, you're all clustered in pretty close.
Okay, not that it'll do any good, but I'll go ahead and do that.
Do what?
Intercede my shield.
So, okay, use your action. What does that do exactly? Gives him disadvantage?
It gives him disadvantage. Like I said, it doesn't do anything, but...
In this case.
I had determined that I was going to do it before I saw the roll, so...
I appreciate that. Take inspiration.
Thank you.
And when that happens, as you realize that the shield is going to miss, like the ogre is going to get around, you actually are able to pull in, and something seems to kind of come over your mind like you hear the voice of your master, the old general saying, and he's not speaking to you, he's speaking to his captains. It's important that we don't waste our energy on attacks that are doomed to fail. We must wait until the opponent is weak and then strike with our full force. The mechanical effect of this, by the way, is you get a 1d0 temporary superiority die.
Okay.
It is your turn.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and attack again. And, oh well.
Shaking things up, Arlo, attacking again.
I'm going to shout to the other two, hold back until I have him on the ground.
One of them's was thrown against across the way.
Oh, okay.
And the one that's still up, the unconscious, says, "No, this is our home. I'll defend it as well."
You'll be more effective if I have him on the ground first, but okay.
He makes an attack, and he misses as well, continuing to be less than average ability. The ogre takes another swing. This one's coming at you, Arlo.
Okay.
At Cassim. Ah!
And he misses, unless he has advantage, and then that really sucks.
He does not have advantage.
Okay, I didn't think he did.
Cassim.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can...
By the way, he's starting to look like a little pale. Not super pale, but a little pale.
Oh, good. Okay, so I'm going to try... Yay, I hit him. I certainly hope I hit him with that, at least. And...
Yes, you do.
Trip him. See if he saves again.
by the way, so a little bit before you do that, sorry, narrative interjecting here. You hear a voice, or as you're doing this, you hear a voice saying, "The weak must allow the strong must cover the strong must cover the weak while they retreat, so that they can come in and use their strength when it is most useful." All right, he's making a strength save.
Yeah.
19. And when you hear,
Okay, so I deliberately at this point provoke an attack of opportunity.
hold on, just a second though. But when you hear that, I mean that's a very good idea, sacrificing for the others. There you feel the sense that like you realize that you have the ability with your shield and your kind of your weapon, that if you use a superiority die, you can use that extra energy, that extra oomph to give your allies a chance to move without provoking attacks of opportunity.
Okay. But I've already used the superiority die this round, so
You can use this more than one superiority die around. You just can't use it on more than one attack. And this particular ability is not tied to an attack.
oh, okay.
Or
I'll go ahead and use that 1d0.
Actually, it's got to be an action. We'll call it a bonus action, which you have not used it either.
Okay. And command the guy. Step back before he swings again.
Okay, so
I'll cover you.
And so, having seen how strong this guy is, and kind of in realizing how crappy he is at hitting things, he's like, "Fine," and he steps back a little bit. Now it's the ogre's turn.
Okay.
He's also, by the way, getting impressed with Kasim's ability to, handle himself in this fight. And ogre swings at Kasim, and I think misses.
That is a miss. Yes.
Okay. It is Kasim's turn. By the way, the bleeding seems to have slowed down. The bleeding in the guy's thigh.
Ah, okay.
But he doesn't look great. He's kind of staggering a little bit.
Okay. So, yeah, we're going to go with the scimitar. I think it's still... Oh, man. Okay.
That is
Yeah, my bag of tricks. Okay, well, I'm still going to continue covering for the guy, interceding myself in between the ogre and the guy who stepped back. Wait for the opening.
Okay, so ogre's turn. He's going to swing at you. The other guy is waiting for the opening. He seems to have readied himself. 17 versus AC.
That's a miss.
Really?
Barely. I have an 18.
How did that happen?
18?
Maybe shield and what's your armor? Scale 16, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Good. Glad I missed. I'm impressed. All right, your turn.
Okay, so again, I'm going to try and create the opening. And another superiority die down.
Okay. Nice.
And he has to try and save again.
I vote because he was weak. He had disadvantage on that roll. And since I'm the DM, mine's the only vote that counts. So.
Okay, so at that point then, I'm going to spend my action surge and I'm going to command the other guy, now! As the guy goes down, and we're both going to lunge on him and attack with advantage.
And he does. The other guy jumps in, hammer swinging viciously, aimed at something. He doesn't seem to be aiming very well, but you're able to kind of work with it. And you slash the ogre across the... Actually, are you trying to kill him or not?
I was trying to put him out of his misery, so yeah, I'm probably going to try and kill him at this point.
So you're wielding a sword? Yeah, long sword. So you slash him across his throat, and the other guy smashes him in the chest or something with his hammer, and you're pretty sure the ogre at this point is dead. He's not moving. Lots of blood has left the ogre's body, which is usually fatal.
Okay, so at this point, I'm going to just wave everyone back, and we're going to make sure that the thing doesn't move anymore, but there's no point in putting ourselves at any further risk. Then, as we're stepping back, I'm going to wave to the guy to go and check on his other friend who got thrown into a wall.
Actually, that guy, the old man and that guy the old man has that guy's arm around his shoulders.
Oh, okay.
But the guy is walking, which is very surprising to you. A, that he's alive, and B, that he's already up.
They have to have some tough people here. Otherwise, they wouldn't survive in this miserable environment.
You're pretty sure that when he was thrown into the mud across the way, that you would have guessed he was dead at that moment.
Oh, okay.
It was a bad blow, and someone that's not armored, and the guy wasn't able to get out of the way. Your guys' hit points more often than not represents your ability to get out of the way, so that it's not serious. This guy did not have that ability.
And yet he doesn't look sturdy of frame. Well, at least not sturdy enough of frame.
It's relatively strong, but again, your hit points don't represent sturdiness of frame. They represent your ability to turn a fatal attack into a non-fatal attack. And he did not seem to have that ability.
I go back over there and I assist by helping offering to help carry the guy on the other shoulder so that he's between the two of us, the old man and I.
So the old man starts kind of leading a little bit back. It's like, let's go back to the stream.
It was unfortunate. I had hoped that his mind was no longer lost. I have encountered some of these creatures in the woods, and they were non-hostile, so...
So did you know his mind was lost when you cut him under the stones?
I did my best to reach him, but with no response, I had to assume that his mind was lost. He already has done tremendous damage, and there are too many people here left at risk.
I do not disagree with your choice, but I do not know if we can be certain whether or not his mind was lost, as you say. And the guy has a slight grin on his face. Most people that cut me, I consider hostile.
Yes. There is no way that we can know one way or the other. I took the only action that I saw as being prudent at the time. And I still consider it overall unfortunate but necessary.
No complaints from me. You protected up my people. I appreciate that.
Yes. And you, young man, you are made of much sturdier stuff than I had anticipated. I feared you lost from that blow.
He seems to be he starts he's kind of out of it, and the old man says, "Well, there are hardy people in this part of town."
That is good. They will be needed for the rebuilding. And so then we guide them back to the stream where they can tend to these guys a bit more thoroughly.
Yeah, the old man, all they do to tend him is they kind of lay him out. Some people give him some water to drink. The old man regales some people of the mighty tale. It sounds much more impressive coming from him than you remember it. There might have been 5 ogres, and heads and arms and limbs went flying, things like that.
That's fine. They all need some glory after a battle like this.
Okay, so we're going to leave Kasim for a moment to contemplate the deep mysteries.
Okay.
You go to everybody else. So, everybody else, you're on a beach. There are pirates dead. There's a dire dog thing. Basically a dog with some bones sticking out in weird places that is on the ground. And let me move the map back to where you're at.
Life's a beach and you guys are on it.
Yeah.
So,
Party har har.
Nasima is looking around, somewhat dazed, nervously. You see her kind of reach into her pack and finger something. Reinhardt would guess that it's the disc that she was given. What do you guys do?
Bonos, help me tie these two up. We'll put
Certainly.
But I would like to fight the gays at this point.
What?
Okay, so so roll me a...
I know exactly what you heard, Kent, and it's not that.
I didn't think so. I just was going to
Roll a
clarify.
wisdom save.
Gaes. Gaes.
Gaius.
Thank you. That threw me for a second.
Roll a wisdom save! Alright. You succeed on the wisdom save. Energy start. Reinhardt's fingers were weaving, as well as his voice seemed to be weaving a spell of some kind. Ursak looked at Reinhardt immediately, Urshak being suspicious of Reinhardt, knowing that there's no enemies around. Wasn't sure if he was going to, basically probably suspected he was going to kill the pirates who gave up, but he sees that Reinhardt is staring directly at him, kind of owning some death. Energy starts kind of forming, and then Reinhardt, I'm guessing, screams.
Yeah.
Let's see how bad it is. Yep. Screams and collapses.
33 points of damage.
Unconscious. And energy dissipates. Yeah.
So,
Giovanni, you get inspiration.
Yay.
Onos, can you handle these two? I'll go see what Reinhardt just did.
yeah, he exploded.
Yeah, there's blood coming out of his nose, eyes, and ears, and dribbling out of his mouth. Quite a bit, actually. It looks bad.
I'll go tend to him.
Good.
This has been happening. This has been happening recently. I'm not exactly sure the cause, but be careful when he wakes up.
Ursak, roll me 2 Arcana checks. No, sorry, Ursak. Reinhardt.
Okay, I was like,
Ursak is our arcade master after all. So we'll let Reinhardt try to pull it off. 2 Arcana checks. Oh, nice. Okay, so Reinhardt, this time, as this compulsion is coming on, you kind of separated part of your mind out to kind of watch it. And this is the part of you that you realize is the divination, gift of divination, or allows you to kind of see into the possible futures. And it's kind of watching this weave of energy coming from a distant point, wrap itself, weave itself into your mind, kind of follow along your brain into your body. And you think that you could probably predict when this is going to happen in the future. Like, you've got a sense of the energy, and you also think you might have the beginnings of how to unpick this. You think that either you could kill, no, actually, but you know that whoever cast it on you, even if they die, it's a spell, it's sustaining the energy, not the person at this point.
Okay.
All right, so Geth.
I will. Will I need to do a medicine check, or can I just use I think I have some lay on hands left.
I don't know how you can ask me that question. Like,
Oh yeah.
are you
Okay.
going to do a medicine check?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a medicine check on Reinhardt.
Okay.
Oh, it's so small. I think that's the right button.
There is blood coming out of his face in places that it normally doesn't.
Okay, I'll land. I'll tie him up first, and then land hands.
Roll me a dexterity check. I trust that as a paladin, that's one of your strong suits.
Yes.
Roll me a manhandling check.
Basically. Okay.
Okay, and then I'll give him 5 health back.
Reinhardt, you are coming out of the darkness. It's a very annoying darkness. You feel like it's all too familiar at this point. Like, I wish it didn't feel like home.
Oh, great.
Are you all right, Reinhardt? You did it again.
I don't think I've seen this.
You forgot
Didn't
to
he
say
do it in the tavern
Oh, he was in the tavern.
or in the inn?
Yeah, he was.
We were downstairs.
The only one who's not seen this is Onus.
Wait. When did it happen in the end?
When I was...
Uh,
I'll let you.
right after Zachariah showed up, Ursak brought him
you're
down.
right. You're right. Okay. Sorry.
You had another episode. Are you all right?
How do I feel? But I'm still compelled?
You don't feel compelled to do anything yet, or Ursa, or Onus. You do feel like you should probably kill Nasima.
Yes, but best way to do it out of character is when they're not conscious, the entire group. So
Well, we don't need to strategize that. I'm just telling you how you feel. Trust me, I've got lots of ways to do that.
I don't know. I blacked out. My head hurts.
Yeah, you had another episode like you did at the end.
Why am I tied up?
Precautionary.
I mean you no harm right now, so you can just untie me.
What is Onus doing, by the way, during this time?
I'm tying that guy up.
There's two other guys. So Ursa, that guy. So he's unconscious. Ursak, I thought you guys killed him.
Yeah, we killed
he's
him,
dead.
but there's the two.
There's the two that were alive. Yeah, the pirates, you guys were actually knocking him off. Is my recollection of the last one.
Killed?
Killed.
What?
Actually, I think, yeah, everyone that Reinhardt was hitting was dying. And I think he's the one that actually polished off that dude.
What? We killed him?
Wait.
That's okay with me.
Okay.
So I think the dog is technically unconscious as opposed to dead, and one of the other pirates is unconscious as opposed to dead, but one of them is dead, and there's two guys that dropped their weapons.
In which case, I'm gonna go tie up that dog.
Roll me a dexterity check. By the way, it's got a really high DC.
Let's see. Dexterity check. 19.
You somehow figure out a way to hobble the dog. And because you realize that there were dangerous things coming out of his mouth, you also muscle it.
Yes. Excellent.
Would you mind letting me free, Guff?
Yeah, sure. I was just all on time.
And what's Ursak doing?
Ursak is going to try to get a tooth or claw off of the dog.
So the dog, okay. So as you start, which one? Tooth or claw?
Go claw.
Let's do
Go.
claw.
Don't let it open its mouth.
Yeah, let's do claw.
Okay. So as you start cutting out,
I'm gonna back away when he comes up to remove body parts from this animal. By the way.
its claw, it jerks. It doesn't wake up, but it's jerking, obviously in pain, and blood is spurting out of its leg, its foot, and it dies.
Well, that's disappointing.
You killed the dog. I try to tie it up, and you walk over and you kill the dog.
Oh, you did a beautiful job tying this up. You're like, that was one of the best dog tying jobs that's probably ever been done in the history of dog tying.
Right, I would
On
say
this beach.
that was pretty impressive. As someone has been tied up so many times, I can vouch for that.
Did I get my claw?
Yeah, you got it.
And Reinhardt, whatever you're doing, whatever you're doing to trigger your explosion, you need to be more cautious.
Your child abductor intentionally blows himself up.
I mean, by the way, so the other pirates are like looking at each other and starting to shift away from the group, like sidestep a little bit away from everybody.
Smart pirates.
You guys should probably take care of them.
And they're running.
I chase after them, although I'm probably
What's your speed?
6.
So 30 feet? Is that true in heavy armor as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I can double check,
I'll
but I
just
believe
shoot
so.
one of them non-lethally from here, so.
I don't have any ranged.
But I will.
I do. Well, I should. I just don't.
Well,
have
do it. Quick, let's talk more. Dude.
I'll hit the guy on the top, but she'll touch. After I get up.
That's got a range 120 feet, right? So it's got quite a ways. Roll. What's anybody else doing? You miss.
I will.
Dodges your side.
Wait, he died? Wait, what? He died?
Dodges.
Oh,
your side.
gotcha. I'm going to attack with Vicious Mockery in an attempt, because it's like mental damage, in an attempt mainly to make him fumble and trip so that we can catch up to him.
What's the range on Vicious Mockery?
60?
He's out of your range.
What? That guy right there?
He's running. He's not right there. Trust me, we don't want to do that on the battle map. It'd be very annoying. You can move if you move first, you'll be in range. So let's assume you move your distance and then you do the vicious mockery. So go for it.
So if I move down and attack, let's see.
Okay.
We're not on the map, so
Okay, so I don't have to really what.
No.
So it's a DC 14 Wisdom save.
okay. I almost rolled 5d10 for his save. I'm pretty sure.
That would have been unfair.
5.
Okay, so he fails. What happens?
So he takes 4 psychic damage. Like I said, I was doing that mainly in an attempt to make him fumble and trip so we could catch up to him.
He collapses on the ground. The other guy is still looking. Ursak.
I'm going to chase after the other guy.
No, you got to put the curly brackets right after the question mark. I don't know what you're trying to do
okay.
with the straight thing there. And then you got to close it with curly brackets. Sorry, go say again. You're chasing the guy. What's your speed?
My speed is, I totally know where that is 30.
Okay. So he's going to stay ahead of you. Don't you have barbarians? Oh, so is that only when you rage?
I think that's only when I rage. I was just gonna say, but I can do that later. I'm gonna continue choosing.
Okay. So one guy on his turn keeps moving. Nasima actually is faster, and she is gonna run along, and she'll eventually do a high up kick. She kind of runs past Ursa, running lightly on the sand, and takes the fire down. Ooh.
Excellent.
She looks, and Ursak runs up like 2 seconds later. It wasn't that long. She looks at Ursak like, so what are we supposed to do with this guy now?
Just leave him. We'll free the hostages and we can get out of here.
She's like, well, why do we chase him if we're just going to leave him?
Tie him
Because
up.
they've seen us.
Tie him up. It buys us time to get the hostages and get out before they get back up.
Oh, we're going to waste rope on this guy?
No, if we leave them to die, then we don't have to worry about them knowing who we are and they have no leads to chase us.
Actually, sorry, Geth is not there unless he ran up afterwards.
Yeah.
Geth
And
runs
also,
afterwards.
what kind of paladin is Geth?
It's the kind of paladin that D&D groups usually have.
Just kill him. Just
Basically,
Not kill them, leave them to die from exposure.
What was the question? I missed it.
why waste rope on this guy?
Well, I think we should actually bring him back. I mean, we need stuff out of these people. Maybe a little trade perhaps will help us get what Onus wanted here.
Well, and if Onus escaped, they might have moved the prisoners. So
well, we can walk on into that cave and find out.
All right, so I heard a statement of what we can do.
I had to go free the hostages.
I assumed by that you walk into the cave entrance.
Yes. Oh, wait. There we go.
It's like when you guys say, I hit him. It's like, well, no, you make an attack.
Did you?
So as you walk into the cave, you see a bunch of very disturbed sand and
Very disturbed sand.
some stone, kicked around. Obviously, people walk on it. You see some stone walls and kind of stealing.
That sand has seen some stuff. It's disturbed.
That too. My use of the word was correct. And you see the remnants of a fire.
So there's no one left. Or I continue in, see if I see anyone.
You do not. It's dark. For what? Are you human?
Yes. So I'll grab a torch while I go in the cave.
Okay. The torch reveals almost the same things you saw without the torch.
And then I'll head into the cave.
As you work to the back, you get to a spot where it narrows down quite a bit, and there is a hole that you would feel claustrophobic crawling into.
Mm. I'm going to come back out, bag. They're They must have moved them. They're not in the cave. Oh no, so you said they were in here.
Well, this is definitely the place where I ran from, so I kind of assumed they were still here. I mean, did you check the whole cave? I know there's some rooms in there.
There's a hole in the wall, but I don't think I'd fit in there very well.
Small hole nobody wants to go into? That sounds about like where they had the prisoners. If they're not there, they must have moved them.
I'm going to...
You guys want me to see into one of their minds and see where they are?
Sure, if it'll help us find out where the kidnapped hostages have gone to.
Which one is tied up? This guy over here?
It doesn't matter. Just
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're not on the table.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll walk to one of them and use one of my level 2 spells. My last one. Detect thoughts. I don't know why that attack is there. For a contested intelligence, I think it is.
Well, you win.
So go inside his mind.
It doesn't have much intelligence to contest people.
So I'm like looking inside his brain and trying to figure out where their new hideout is, where they're keeping the hostages.
So this reads like, okay, the surface thoughts of this guy is that he is hungry, he's angry that he has up time, and he's scared that he's going to die. You guys basically see Reinhardt stare at this guy for, he thinks like a minute or something to get past the surface thoughts. But let's see, he gets to make a wisdom saving throw. And he succeeds at the wisdom saving throw. Your save is not that high.
I need to
Your
add
save.
that. I don't know why it's not there. But yeah, I failed. Yeah, he did.
Your save may never be that high. That is a very high roll.
lucky. 19.
Yeah, you got very lucky. So, and that's it. That's all you get.
Okay. Well, I'm out, guys. If we can keep him alive for a couple of seconds, I can try this again later. I only got like the surface thoughts.
Well, they did mention that person that was in town. I mean, if they've moved locations and that's their point of contact in town, we could always go find that person in town, start up a conversation, see if they know where they've gone.
Yes, go up to Maria and go back. Oh yeah, by the way, we found your cave, then we killed everybody.
Well, we don't start with "we killed everyone." There's a diplomatic solution to everything. Admitting murder is never the base of any conversation.
Never such a strong word for diplomat. Okay, so what are you guys doing? We need some action here.
Go ahead.
I mean, does anyone have any other ideas aside from going back to town and finding Maria?
I think that's perhaps the only choice if we're going to concern ourselves with these people that we've been told to rescue or whatever.
Distract. You were told to distract.
Distract.
Yes, distract the pirates.
We definitely distracted the pirates. Consider themselves distracted.
So let me just walk through this a little bit logically. So Onus isn't going to know this stuff. Geth would be vaguely familiar with it. Reinhardt, Nasima, and Ursak would be very familiar with the fact that the pirates have blockaded the port, like the ports in general. How many ships do you think it takes to do that? Some of them are pretty major ports. How many people do you think it takes to just even operate
An entire
ships?
fleet. Almost an army.
Well, if I learned anything from the Avatar show, it's like 4 people.
So let's say that it's 4 people per ship. Just do the Avatar shows.
Hey, there was one that had 6.
Let's just go with the lowest. Let's say it's 4. Did you kill enough people here to represent, even if it's only 4 crewmen, not counting any boarders or raiders or anything like that, to represent, do you think, a substantial portion of the pirate population?
No, probably not.
Again, you were asked to distract the pirates. If it was these like 6 guys, I don't think that would have
Yeah, Zachariah really doesn't think much of us. If this is the task he's given us.
Well, or the entire like condominium of Soderhod, which, as far as you know at this point, is at least 2 major cities that have quite a few soldiers to be able to fend off an attack by
One boat sets up a blockade.
an army of ogres. So again, I just ask you to keep that in mind as you guys talk, as if you have defeated the pirates.
I think, well, Master told us our job is to distract these pirates. I don't think small fights like this is going to do much for stopping their forces. But if we bring one of these to what's her name, Maria, in the city, then perhaps we can stir a little dust up and have a little fun with them. Maybe we can draw them to us.
Okay, so the party decides we're going to go talk to Maria. You all don't necessarily have the same ideas of what that means. Onus, I'm going to assume Onus has been a bit of a subversive person in the past. He knows how to play tricks on people, and not just people, but towns and groups of people. Is he skilled in misdirection?
Traveling on his own, he's definitely learned how to talk his way out of scenarios and certainly make himself look good in certain scenarios, but mainly, as a charisma character style.
Okay, so in Onus's mind, then, is going to be kicking around this idea of we're here to distract people. You do know who Zachariah is, by the way.
Right.
I mean, you met him before you left. You also know that if you're trying to distract these pirates so that they do not attack Zachariah or the city of Soderhod, that identifying yourself with Zachariah or the city of Soderhod as you go talk to these pirates may not be the best idea. Or if it is what you do, then there needs to be some kind of misdirection. If you point them straight back home, you will probably fail in your objectives.
Certainly.
Okay. I don't know what thoughts anybody else has. Reinhardt is probably a little bit distracted as he's kind of working on his fingers twitching, like weaving in the air occasionally, strange arcane words coming out of his mouth as he seems to be almost plucking at threads, cursing occasionally, electricity kind of sparking off his fingers as he continues to try to do it. Do something, but you don't know what. Ursoc, you're realizing as you're walking again that ogre was not a totem spirit. It was angry. It had something to express, but normally the way your totem spirits work is you express their anger. In this case, it was expressing its anger. It was controlling and dominant. It was stronger than you in spirit, basically. And that you probably need to be cautious about which spirits you try to attune yourself with. But you are realizing that this pouch thing that you've got is a pretty nifty thing that gives you access to stuff, but it also seems to have the possibility of opening you to spirits in general, not necessarily just things in the pouch if you're not careful. At least that's what you're attributing it to. You're not sure if it's the pouch or if it's the fact you're in this new land, because your powers really did blossom when you got here that hadn't for many years before. I still don't know Geth well enough to know what's going through his mind, so sorry, Richard.
That's okay.
Nasima is off in her own world again. She's actually got a disc out and she's fingering it. Anytime somebody seems to step closer to her, she jumps away a little bit. It's like startles. Not like a standing long jump, more of a shies away. Okay, so you guys get to this town. Does anybody remember what it's called?
Nope. I want to quickly state to the
Galistad.
party, do not touch that disc without putting something in your hand, because then something really bad is going to happen to you.
Gersadon, sorry. The town's Gersadon.
Ah, good job, Richard. Geth has inspiration.
It's in the notes.
Somebody read notes and took them.
I took notes.
Good job. And somebody read them. All right, so you guys are in the town. There are no crossbow bolts that shoot at you as you go in.
That's a good start. I think
Bonus.
we should
What happened?
all take a moment and just revel in that fact. That
That happened last time. So, but it's day. We don't know if that's the difference or the fact that there's more of you together. The streets are still muddy and they still smell like fecal matter and urine and blood and rotting guts and wonderfulness. And in fact, bits of it are probably still on everybody but Onus, I think.
Yeah, I
Ursoc.
didn't lay down.
Ursoc was never in the... Oh no, that's right. You guys all did clean up. You guys had a chance to bathe.
No, we
Yeah,
did.
we went to the kids and
My apologies. All right, so you're back in town. You never found Maria last time. What are you doing? You are welcome to just roll. One of you is welcome to roll an investigation check, but you will have to try to describe, just roll for roleplay reasons, how you're investigating. But wait until after the roll to see kind of how you want to describe it.
What are we trying to investigate?
Finding Maria.
Maria.
Oh. I'm thinking over here. Try to describe it.
Well, assuming that we go in, we're going to try to find some kind of tavern or pub. Find some locals.
Again, nothing is labeled as such, but you cross many places where people seem to be drinking, even though it's probably only early afternoon, and eating foods.
Is it more pubish in the sense that there's a bar?
Some of them have something that might be called the bar, but that's an awfully fancy, thing for this kind of place.
Okay. And then walking up to whomever is behind the counter, maybe, and asking if anyone has seen Maria.
It's like a plank on a bunch of stacked barrels. When you say that, most people laugh, and the room, people laugh, and the person is just laughing and not answering your question.
So that's a no. No one has any business with Maria, and you're all just weird.
By the way, if you want to try to roll a check of some kind, you're
Sure.
welcome to do so. Depending on what you're trying to do, I will tell me what you're trying to do, and I'll tell you what check.
Okay, I would like to try to convince them that we have business with Maria that would prove profitable.
Persuasion.
Not a deception?
I think. Well, no, no persuasion.
Persuasion, okay.
Okay. The guy behind the bar says, "I'm sure that's true. None of my business, though, to tell you where Maria is if you don't already know." He whispers, "You're supposed to hire a go-between before you get here. Everybody knows that. Don't worry, though. They won't kill your family until at least 2 or 3 weeks have gone by. You should have time."
I am rather obviously pulling the collar down pulling the armor down to expose the collar. Recently self-freed slave.
He looks at the card. Some kind of necklace you got there, isn't it?
Fancy necklace, yeah, you could say that. But the point being...
Also, by the way, when you said self-freed slave, there was a hint of heat from the collar.
Okay. And needless to say, maybe not familiar with all the goings-on out here. I need to find Maria as soon as possible to get this deal over with so that I can get out of here.
He's like, "Sorry, I can't help you. It's not my business to tell you. If I tell you, then one of the people who are usually go-betweens will slit my throat for cutting them out of the business."
Okay, well, can you tell me who would be able to help me? Or at least point me in the right direction here.
Right. Well, before you get to town, really. But there was a deal that was done just recently. Maybe the person's still around. Perig's over, probably near the dock. She usually likes to sail out of here. Says she doesn't like walking in the streets. But she's still around. She could probably work as your go-between. As your factor, I think is what they call themselves.
Excellent, thank you. Then I walk out. Well, at least now, and then talking to the rest of the party, at least now we know that we have to go to the dock and talk to Perig. That should get us somewhere toward Maria.
Do we want to rest for the day before we go find Pear? Or do we want to go as is?
It is noon, by the way, and you guys do have a time limit. You were told to get back probably by midnight tonight or early morning the next day in order to make the commitments to Kellerman and your master.
We could go check with him, see what he has to say, and decide from there.
Geth may have forgotten, but there is sort of a war thing going on back in Sauron.
Well, we're short on.
We should probably
time,
not say
so-
we're from back where Zachariah is from, so should probably lie about that.
We'll probably lie about just about everything when we talk to them. I have no intention of letting them know that we're slaves to anyone, let alone giving out real names.
I think you just told somebody you were essentially, like, a recently
I was,
freed slave, at
I was
least.
just about to say that.
Recently freed, but not currently a slave working for someone.
Fair enough. Okay.
More imposing that I'm working for myself. That
So just for the sake of argument, because it'll take you guys a long time to come up to this, I think, the same conclusion. You all take a short rest. Feel free to spend hit dice.
actually, on a short rest, if we're all near me and you can hear my song of rest, you all get 1d6 back to your health.
So are you going to sing the Song of Rest?
You better start singing, Kent.
I can whistle the song of rest, or I can sing it.
So as you begin singing the Song of Rest, there are quite a crowd of people that come around.
Maybe you can make money at the same time.
20 or 30 of them. Some of them are, and they're just kind of listening with rapt attention during this kind of 20 minutes, 30 minutes you guys are resting.
Excellent.
There's
No one's gonna panhandle in this
passing around the cup.
in this time.
Ursak loses a cup.
It's
All right,
like
well,
if you're trying to make some money. Jeez. So 1d6, right? And then
yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm sorry, but Richard briefly explained the hit dice to me. How does that work exactly?
So you have a certain number of hit dice equal to your level. So right now you have 4.
Mhm.
The size of the hit dice is based on your class. I think for bards it's probably D8.
Yeah.
That's your pool for in between long rests. Long rest is when you gain back half of your maximum.
Okay.
At the end of a short rest, you can spend a hit die. And to spend one, you roll it, and then you gain back that many hit points. You can spend as many as you have available.
Okay.
Oh, and you add your con modifier to the result.
what did you say about up to half? Or you get half?
On a long rest, you regain spent
yeah,
hit
yeah.
die up to half of your total.
Okay.
So if you have 10 hit die, then on a long rest, you can regain at least 5 of them.
I was making sure I didn't miss here.
And I get the con modifier for each roll.
Yes.
Okay.
If you look on your character sheet, you can, on the core page, you can click which type of dice you have and then just hit the hit die on there and it does everything for you.
Other than add it to your current.
Other than actually debuffing.
If I'm regaining half my level spells, I can only regain 1 second level spell, right? And that's it.
Well, you are level 4. That math checks out.
Okay.
6. Okay, so
Or
that's
they did the math.
okay.
And so that 6 is you rolled a 4, and it already adds the +2 for your.
Yeah,
con
I caught that.
Okay.
All right, time for Ursak to get angry.
So you guys, as Onos ends, some people will clap, others shout, "Keep going! Don't stop!"
You know, it's times like this when I always think bards should have an ability called Incite Riot.
Start the fires!
There are probably about 10 of the folks that are there kind of seem to be working themselves up to be pretty angry egging each other on. Yeah, keep going. No one told you could stop.
Ooh.
Oh.
No one told me I could stop, but I get to stop. It's my union break. And with that, I'm gonna
There's
start walking.
a rock comes sailing out. I don't think an 11 does any damage to you. It hits you, but it does not solidly enough. You can probably see where it came from. It's back behind a little bit, but
Right, good.
Yeah,
good
keep
call.
playing.
Good call. Throw rocks at me. It makes me want to sing.
I'm gonna stand behind
You
Gav.
better sing, or we're gonna make sure you never sing again. And I'd say about half the crowd at this point have left. Well, not left, but stepped back for the next show, basically, in their opinion.
The next show.
But there seems to be a good 15 or 20 guys that are probably sailors, probably a little tipsy again, even though it's relatively early in the day, and perhaps looking for some exercise.
Ursak whispers over, do you know any good lullabies?
I'm gonna do a quick persuasion check and try
Four
to.
rocks come sailing out. One of them hits you. Keep going. For 2 points.
Gentlemen, we will return. We need to rest and recover his voice, otherwise he will not be up to
Hold on,
par.
roll your persuasion
Yeah.
check. Let's see what the result is before you.
Yeah.
Try to roleplay the result. So again, honest does take 2 points. Okay, so you do very, very well.
Okay.
So play it out.
Continue
Oh.
role playing the result.
Oh, okay. Gentlemen, we will be back. The Onos here needs to take a short rest to recover his voice so we can continue the jovial music later this evening.
He's got a. I guess it has been a while. I was like, yeah, I guess he probably does have to rest. So sorry about that. Here, have some. Somebody steps forward and hands you a little skin of liquid. Here, have this on me.
Thank you. Liquid skin.
We'll be back later. Farewell. Let's go,
All right.
guys.
So yeah, I guess at this point, assuming no one else has anything to do to the crowd, we'd head on down to the docks to find.
And the crowd disperses. There's some people that sound like, oh, so I can see a fight today. Yeah, that's
I can sing.
We're off to find Perig.
All right, so go to the docks. Actually, as you're heading towards the docks, there's several people that are kind of traveling the same direction you are. And you get to the docks, start asking around for Perig, and somebody that basically walked back to the docks with you says, "Wait, you're looking for me?" It's a woman. She's wearing leather armor. She's got a rapier and a dagger.
Does she have a
She's not-
tricorn hat?
She is not wearing a hat, and there is not a feather in the hat she's not wearing.
Ooh.
Did you say that she's wearing a beard?
No.
That is not a woman.
Where did you get that?
I don't know. It was right around leather armor. She's something in leather armor, and my brain translated to she's wearing a beard. I was imagining
That is not a
some
woman.
poor guy's beard was hanging like a trophy on her belt.
I don't think that part is now true. I don't think I even said the letter B, but now there is actually what looked to be several scalps, or you don't know that it's a beard per se, but hair tied
Guys,
to her
I
belt.
don't need an investigation to know that is not a woman.
No, tied to her belt, man. I don't know where you grow your facial hair, but mine does not grow from my belt.
Mine goes from my face.
Ever since that belt accident in that lab.
Could be a dwarven female anyway, but
So, you're looking for me? Why didn't you say something when you're up the way? Oh, you're the singer boy. Hey, that was nice stuff you're doing there.
Oh, well, thank you. And yes, as it just so happens, we are looking for you. We're actually looking for a way to get to Maria.
Ah, she rubs her hands together in the classic stance of somebody who's expecting to get money out of something. Looking for Maria! No,
We
that's the one
are.
where they're asking for a tip. This is more of the greedy, average role, like rubbing in front of you. Yes, exactly. Well, so the pirates got one of your family members, huh?
Actually, we have someone we'd like to give to the pirates.
And she looks, her face clouds. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not what Maria's for. Maria's for, hey, if you're trying to start trouble, you got to talk to somebody else. I'm not going to sour good things. She starts walking away.
Well, in that case, if we can't remove our extra,
So
maybe
she
we
is,
can
she is trying
acquire
to walk away. If you're trying to change her opinion, you're going to probably need to persuade her. So please
All
roll your check, and then let's see if you can roleplay the result. You do very well. Not quite as well as you almost did, though.
Well, okay, if she can't take our extra from us, maybe she has someone we can use. Now, recently I heard
She turns around. What's in it for me, though? She's gonna be suspicious if this isn't a usual deal. I'm gonna need. And she kind of she looks up a little bit. 4 times my normal cut.
what do you consider your normal cut?
Her hands come back together and agree. Well. And she looks you guys up and down. So my normal cut's is about 150 gold.
I'll do an inside check on that shit.
Okay, Reinhardt's the one that gets to do the insight check.
Forget it.
Seems reasonable. You're like, yeah, 150 gold.
Yeah. I won't.
That's a normal cut. So she's asking for 600 gold.
Seems legit, guys.
I don't have 10 gold for this guy over here. I certainly don't have that kind of money for this.
You can roll me a deception check.
I don't have that kind of money.
Roll a deception check. You do have 10 gold for Giovanni.
Not for Giovanni, I don't.
So her face falls and she turns around and says, well, if you don't have 10 gold, you should be dealing with somebody else. She walked away.
That was a little too deceptive.
Hold on, I want to try to persuade her again if she hasn't gotten too far away.
She is pretty far away. The DC is higher. Go ahead. You did pretty well. Play it out.
We might not have the gold now, but what if we gave you something up front, and then the rest when we finish the transaction?
She stops and doesn't turn around. What would you give me up front?
Well, like we said, we don't have a lot of gold now, but what if you would consider 50 gold up front?
She starts walking away.
What up?
You are not accepting my offer of money that is less than 1/10 of what you asked for. How dare you? How dare you, man?
How dare us?
All
This
right,
coming
all
from
right.
the person who's trying to cheat us.
No, I'm saying you offered her 1/10 of what she asked for. The fact that she's walking away, it's like somehow offensive. I find that very entertaining.
Well,
she is leaving.
if anyone else has any plans on how to get the information out of her,
We can tie her. I just whispered to Onus, you can tie her up and I can look inside her mind.
you want to get in a fight with a sailor on the docks.
Obviously not here.
You see her start walking out on one of the piers.
But that's why I said we should have taken one of the other pirates and then just interrogated him later. But no, okay, just ignore me like always.
Well, maybe if we follow her and figure out who she talks to, she might pass the information on to someone that'll lead us to Maria.
I said we just go home. This is a waste of time.
We
A
will
waste
not-
of time? Helping people is a waste of time?
You guys don't have. There's
You
lots.
kidnap children!
I never kidnapped children.
I'd
I'm
like
trying
to
to
point
help-
out that the first time I'd ever seen you, you were picking up an unconscious child from the ground.
And you were almost
couldn't-
naked.
You tried to convince me to bring them to you.
And you were almost naked.
I was wearing pants, and that was not my choice.
And I was picking up an unconscious child to help
I
him.
never wear pants normally.
I was helping an unconscious child. What, you want me to leave him on the floor?
I will not
monster.
waste our time or our masters, and I will not leave here until we have done what our masters has commanded from
By the
us.
way, there are several sailors. You guys have probably a small audience again. You guys are pretty good at that. The whole passing time epic. We're gonna go back to Cassim while you guys can contemplate. Feel free to text amongst yourselves or chat amongst yourselves how you want to handle it. So Cassim,
He doesn't have ears on. Oh, he just put them on.
Arlo, Are you alive?
He said 1 second.
Okay.
Your mic's up, Arlo, by the way. Cameras are great. You have no mic.
Are you talking?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good.
All right, so Kasim is back. Well, he's not back. He's still at the side of the stream. And we're just going to say he passes most of this day, because the other guys are like a day ahead of you, basically, chronology. Traveling amongst working with the people in the shanty town. As he's doing so, he sees just like a lot of suffering, death, and hunger. Very little of it basically is being caused by the ogres, though there certainly is damage, and Kasim helps rebuild some shanties, and I'm going to assume that he goes and tries to secure some food for some folks, though I don't think he's got much of any money on him, but he is able to get a little bit of going bad stuff, that other people are going to throw out, and you're able to haul it over. So he's able to do some good, and he ends the day.
I organized some people that know how to cook, because I only know how to do like trail rations type cooking.
But you are familiar with sanitation. You kind of teach some folks how to dig latrines and kind of where to organize themselves.
Actually, I'm like working on any places that were leveled. We're rebuilding this with camp discipline.
Yeah, well, no, and actually, Kasim, when he's organizing people, he's having them level like some of the shanties. It's not like any of these are like ancestral homes or anything, so most people don't have a whole lot of attachment to them. And starts organizing it around so they're not polluting their water quite as much, and explaining how and why this is affecting things. By the time he leaves at night, I mean, it's still a shanty town, but there are pieces of it where they're pretty straight rows, and people are moving with more purpose. Like there's some hope. Again, they're still very, very poor, but they've got some ideas now of some simple ways to make things a little better. You end up in the tavern at night, very, very tired, but not tired as from battle, just kind of a physical and emotional exhaustion from working with people who are so unfortunate. Really, Kasim hasn't been around people like that, except maybe the freshly enslaved people, and that's a temporary status. These people have been like that for their whole lives, for the most part. When he comes in, Zachariah is sitting at a table eating, shoulders still sagging, and he says, and he's just eating. So he's got Lamia and what's his name? Yassine with him.
And he says,
I'm sorry, he doesn't say anything.
"Oh, okay."
He looks at you and like nods or whatever. He acknowledges. He's not ignoring you. It's just.
I give a brief nod back and come, stand before him. My lord, are you well?
I'm getting better. He smiles weakly. I do not recover quite as quickly as you, Ursak, and the others. But that is one of your great strengths. I think is one of the reasons why you have grown so much in such a short time in this new land.
Perhaps, my lord. Is there anything that I can do to aid your recovery further?
He waves his hand. No. This is a matter of wizards and clerics. I had quite the battle. I'm surprised you did not hear it, but I suppose if you stayed in the area where you had been assigned to protect, you would not have gotten to the part of town where the most damage had happened.
We still did hear thunderous booming and destructive lightnings crawled across the sky in the distance. We know that you fought well. Fortunately, we did not have such a battle on our hands. Ours was of a more physical nature.
And what did you learn of your failure? What was its price?
I learned that many died and suffered, but even more are suffering from the structure of this society. The people here are suffering greater than slaves who have just been taken by a deceitful lord. It is terrible. I also learned that there are some who will still stand and fight. There are people who will gather together and help maintain what little society there is.
He says,
And-
"But what was the price of your failure?"
The gates that you gave me to protect were destroyed, and 3 ogres made it in and waded their way through this town. Many lives were lost. I still do not have an accurate tally. But many more could have been lost if we did not stop at least 2 of the 3 ogres that we encountered.
He lifts his hand and says, "Did not ask you to defend yourself, Kasim. And I see that you are counting the cost only in casualties and destruction. Price of failure is not only death. What else has happened, perhaps, because of your failure?"
Out of character, are you aiming for something specific? Because I don't know exactly what Kasim all saw. I know that. Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't know if there's any reason why we need to do that out of character. Because if you don't know, Kasim wouldn't necessarily know, like, what he's going at. If you think Kasim would react in such a way where he would want to try to guess what Zachariah is looking for and give him what he wants to hear, then play him that way. This is roleplay, though. There's not like a wrong answer.
Yeah, I don't know what Kasim actually has seen because I can't see through his eyes per se. But
We described it. Again, he was in a shanty town. There wasn't like a whole lot to see other than
yeah,
what had been described.
I do not know what answer you seek, my lord, but I do know that the greater cost was paid in other places.
Kasim,
I
you
do
may
not know.
you do not understand yet, but I know that you were once a servant of a great general. In your experience with him, did he only see death as the price of failure?
Usually loss of power or ability to protect.
Mm.
I listened in on many of his lessons, but I was not privy to his inner thoughts.
Zachariah lifts a finger, kind of just kind of like a wait a minute gesture, turns aside very slowly, looking as if like his muscles must ache a bit, reaches down into a sack, pulls out a small book, and pushes it across the table towards you. He says, "These are some of his notes that he was putting together for his memoir. He died before he was able to write it. I encourage you to read through them. He failed more often than perhaps your eyes and your servant were able to see. But he never let failure defeat him. He always saw opportunity in it, which is why he was a great general."
And why it did not seem like all of it was cost. There were gains from some losses? From some failures?
It's like, well, the opportunities are still costs, but it is up to you to transform them into something else.
I will contemplate on this. And I reach for the book, open it lightly, and just decide that I'm going to take it up to my room, hold it before me, and I go upstairs.
Okay. All right, back to our bickering, perhaps no longer bickering adventurers. They're on a dock. They have a small audience of sailors.
Oh no.
What do you guys do?
It's that group that you were with, like what, nobles or something? Or like poor people? Onos? Hello? Oh,
You're muted.
It was a range of people. Outside of some sailors, maybe a noble's son or two, and certainly some of the lower class.
Yeah, you should probably help them. Not particularly fond of the nobles, but why not?
And by the way, Onos, most of them, you would guess, like lower class would be about middle class. Probably none in there that were truly poor.
Right, yeah. How much time did our master give us to deal with this problem?
You got until
You have
tomorrow.
until tomorrow morning to be back.
Well, I meant that to the party.
Oh, sorry.
You got until tomorrow morning.
Master desires that we report back to him either tonight or by tomorrow morning. Probably at this point, the earliest we'll be able to get there is tomorrow morning.
It's unfortunate, but we might not have time to save these people right now.
We may not. He did give our command wasn't to save those that were with you. It was to distract the pirates, and I think that should perhaps be our ultimate focus at this point. And keep in mind that this will be a continuing problem that we can hopefully fix later on down the road. I don't think Master would be too excited to hear that that's happening.
Well, we got one of the things he wanted us to do. We got Ono, so isn't that a complete loss?
The night is not done yet, Reinhardt. We can continue. There's surely something that we can do to distract and get them away from the ports.
You can probably pretend to be. I don't know. I really don't know what to do here.
Well, Arsak would remember that the direction was to get them to not attack Soderod right now. So it's not necessarily to break the blockade. That would be a very tall order. But just something so that they don't go in, because you guys are going to be launching a counterattack of some kind and don't deal with things on both sides.
Our job is to keep them from attacking Soderod. And I
Probably pit them against
perhaps
some
I
other
don't know
army.
the- I'm sorry?
Probably pit them against some other enemy.
And in what way? How can we do that, Reinhardt?
Do you know?
You can, I don't know, pretend to be one of their emissaries, and then cause a problem and start screaming, "Oh, I'm with this group," and then they'll have to take revenge against that group.
Do you know of any larger powers in the area besides the pirates?
It's,
You guys, where is Tabaste from?
Let me check, see if I think
the
we have
bandits.
that. Yeah, he's a freedom fighter.
Is he?
That's what I have in the notes. He's not from Soderon, we know that.
You do know that. And all the freedom fighters are from Soderod.
Oh my goodness. Our notes are lying to us.
He was with them. Arlo shook his head. Arlo, do you remember anything else? You can metagame you guys help at this point, because I'll give you basically another 5 minutes to figure something out before the DM decides to move things along.
Either that, or we just go home, because we'd just be wasting time and be endangering our lives to be in this hellhole.
So, Arlo,
Going home is not.
I actually can't remember where exactly Tabaste was from. I remember he was against the Heptarchy.
so that's the name of one power, Heptarchy.
I will not say that name,
Why?
The Heptarchy?
because
There we go.
they're my bros.
What?
They are?
One guy who feels very fond towards that.
Out of
I
character.
don't know if Reinhardt knows for certain that they're of the Heptarchy, but I guess at this guy's point, you guys have kind of pieced it together.
Oh, is that the people that mind controlled him?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yes, it is.
I was trying to remember who they were. I was like,
What's the other group besides Soderon?
I've known about that group for a while, but I do not want to mention them because of the games.
I'm trying to remember.
So here, I'll maybe give you a hint. So when Cassine came back to the tavern, he saw a table where there were some very rough figures looking. They smelled of horses. They had some leather. At first, mostly leather. Some of them had painted faces. At first, Cassine didn't recognize them, but kind of was a double take. He recognized Tabaste and Sisquin and Orgatalker and that crew. And when he sat down and he went over to them and asked something to the effect of, "Whoa, you don't look like you saw before." And they said, "Well, we decided it wasn't worth hiding anymore. Our disguises have been uncovered. So since your master knows who we are, we might as well dress as we should. Very rough-looking sorts.
But
So go ahead.
if our master knows who they are, is it fair to assume that they're friends, if not on non-hostile terms with our master? In which case, we probably don't want to start a fight between them and the pirates.
I know who Vladimir Putin is, but I wouldn't mind starting a fight between Putin and someone else.
Without necessarily starting a fight between Putin and yourself.
Right, but if you were in hiding and when you went to this person's house, you decided you didn't have to be in hiding, that's some level of trust.
It's not so much trust. They
were trying to deceive us, and they got caught. So they're like, might as well not try to hide.
Yeah, someone recognized their Russian accents.
No offense, I have no love for guys that have tried to kill us like 4 times already. So.
Those are not some as friends, yeah. Friends, very loosely.
You guys care for those guys?
They're not my friends.
Just blame it on them, or some other group, like the freedom fighters.
Says, you mean the Khanate?
Khanate. Yeah.
Their names come up more often than Heptarchy. I guess it's just not as memorable.
Well, it's because I didn't have it written down. Khanate.
We don't have Heptarchy written down either, I don't think.
I didn't remember that either, though, so...
Oh, it's on the locations, but it's got pound signs instead of the rest of it.
The locations and stuff you guys are filling in.
Yeah,
My information on the locations is in the GM only notes because it's secret.
Oh man!
What time is it currently where we are?
No, it's probably like noon-ish, a little bit before.
I still got my mage armor.
So how long do you think it's going to take us to walk back from where we are back to Zachariah?
To walk back would take you probably a full 24 hours.
So can we?
In which case, we have no time to stop and do anything. We got to start huffing it back if we're going to make it back in time.
Indeed, if you want to walk back, you are probably already late.
I think, 1, we don't have to walk back. 2, I think that Zachariah would prefer we be a little late but actually do our job than come back empty-handed. Also, can I assume Ursak remembered what they were wearing, and with his raider background, he would have an idea to dress up like them and go around Boston Tea partying it?
He can mention that there were raiders, and he'll be familiar with that raiders do disguise themselves as other groups of raiders frequently to try to shift blame. I would recommend that he just bring this idea up though and discuss it with somebody who's probably very better at deception than Ursak even.
Okay.
So he talks to Kasim, right?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yes.
He's not even here.
You just climb on a hilltop and start shouting in the direction of
Kasim!
I have an idea! What do you think?
Kasim looks at you. Ursak needs me! Ursak!
Ursak needs me. I must go now. And flies up.
Back in our homeland, there would be raiders who would disguise themselves as other groups of people. Perhaps if we can do something similar, we could lead them to fight another one of our enemies, and in a sense, kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
We could stage the prior area to make it look like that we were at, to make it look like a different party came in.
Or we could host our own performance here on the docks, and while all the sailors are busy drinking, listening, and basically not paying attention to their jobs, you guys act as raiders.
So judgmental.
Light some fires, break some things, get some activity going. I mean, it's going to be the safest bet, and maybe with the performance I can kind of push them into a more rowdy mood.
I think that's not a bad idea. Before we start this, we need to have an escape plan. I needed for us to be able to move quickly so that we can return as close to when Master wanted us back as possible.
When Ursak says that, right?
Probably rent some horses.
Reinhardt remembers the nest and thinks, these kids probably get in trouble a lot. My vast intelligence tells me they probably know good ways to sneak out of town.
Yeah, sure. Go to the nest. They probably know like secret back ways to get out of town.
Well, at which point, Ono should start the performance to at least start gathering people. You guys go and talk to the people at the nest, and when you come back, give me the nod for whether we have a way out or not.
I can
And
just
if we-
do this, and I just point my finger at you, and you just hear my voice in your head. Message.
That's horrible. But, all right, in which case, let me know the way out, and then we can continue the plan from there. But if we're going to get this group together, we probably need to start sooner than later.
Agreed.
By the way, just an idea. I don't know if any of you have any nautical skill, though, so this may not work. But you could also commandeer a ship to come back to town a lot quicker. And by commandeer, I mean steal.
Well, that would be-
Richard character does have that skill.
Wouldn't
Yes.
that be bad, though, as we're trying to not take the pirates back to where we're going?
By the way, guys, I'm not burning anything, so you guys have fun with that.
Well, I didn't say that you had to be obvious about, stealing
Well-
one of their boats.
Just like waving.
I'm just saying you're at a seaport.
But isn't there a
about to start-
blockade out there?
Somewhere. These aren't like modern ships with radar and submarines,
Yeah, okay.
missiles and stuff.
Even if you hug the shoreline, it will likely be faster than jogging.
Well, in which
Just an
case,
idea.
Does
yes,
somebody even know how to drive a ship?
Yeah,
if,
I do.
But my character
if you
does
guys
not
can
know.
scout out a ship and that's our way out, then that's the way to go.
I wasn't there, so you actually have to. This was just me telling you.
No, let's just say that.
The nest could give us that idea, though, when we get to the nest.
Well, actually, let's say Geth thinks of it, because Geth is like, well, horses are nice, but
Yeah.
ships are often faster. His background.
Horses may be a little scarce here, but there's plenty of boats here at the dock. We can maybe get a small one
So,
and ride it down the coast.
so long we're not burning anything, I'm good.
No, we don't want to burn the boat we're in, then it would sink.
There may be fires in town. We are trying to stir up a bit of a
Then
commotion.
destroy them. I will not partake.
So I say we need to start moving though. Let's go talk
Yes.
to the people at the nest. They can hopefully
Sure.
help us figure some stuff out, and we can get some clothes to look like the Khanate.
So
I'll start
Onus,
the performance in
roll
an
me-
attempt. Oh, go ahead.
roll me 3 performance checks. The rest of you, including Onus, at some point you're going to need to roll some disguise checks. I'll let you do those as a group, because you'll be helping each other out. Man, okay, those are awesome.
You're a good performer.
So think about that. We're going to go ahead and you guys are poof at the nest. You find it. As you get to the building, at first it seems to be abandoned and empty, but then there's like a whistle and little kids pop out of like all over the place. Yes.
They multiply.
Oh, hey! Our guests are back. You want to stay for another night? Same rate?
Unfortunately, we don't have the time to stay tonight, but we could use your help.
The guy the kid that I was talking to kind of like looks over and nods, and then the guy that you recognize as the leader comes over. What kind of help are you thinking? You guys aren't the sort to be just looking for something small.
That's true. We were wondering if you knew any ways that we could get around the city more quickly and perhaps more hidden than the general public would know about.
Well, sure, we know some alleys and back streets people don't usually go to. There's some rooftops that are connected. We can get you around for a fee.
What kind of a fee? How much are we talking?
And he, you see him like hesitate, and then he says, and he raises his finger, 2 up there, and says, 2 gold.
That seems a little stiff, but I like you guys, so if you help us get some outfits, I'll give you 4 gold for it.
What kind of outfits?
Just some leather, simple, and we need face paint.
Oh, leather, face paint. I mean, unless you need something fancy, like. But leather, that's a little tougher. We'll actually have to steal that. That'll cost you 10 golds.
Ursak looks at everybody else for a nod of approval.
I did not give you that nod.
Damn it, I want 10 gold!
God damn it, Ursak.
If the quality is good.
I mean, wizard.
All right, I think the voting is unanimous. We'll give you 12 gold for the lot of it.
Is that guy serious about needing good quality? What are you looking for?
We don't need good quality. Whatever you can find, that'll do what we need.
Crazy paladins, and so when he says that, by the way, you guys are probably a little shocked that like Geth at least that he recognized what you are. Always thinking things are so freaking fancy. Because they wear armor and they have weapons. All right, he takes the money from you. We'll be back in about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Where you guys work, and so he runs off, and some of the older kids run off. One of the ones staying behind says, "Where is it you're trying to get to?"
We need to get to the docks from let's say, is that like the square? Does that work where Onus is?
Are you all going to be together?
For the most part, we can split up some as long as we can get there discreetly.
Well, if you're going to split up, and that might be easier to be discreet if you're not all in one group. We'll have one of us will go with each of you.
All right.
Perfecto.
Okay. By the way, Ursak is actually, you guys are probably as a group probably realizing that these kids are living quite a bit on the edge. If 12 gold seems like a very good amount of money to them. So they come back. They've got the face paints and leathers and stuff. Onus, you have a big crowd of people. They're very, very distracted. In fact, you see some, what you're guessing are captains glaring at you. You would guess because you're keeping important work from being at this point, but they also would probably, just in your own experience, you know that if anyone interferes with a good show, that they often get
beaten.
Yes.
Well, we even know when the performer tries to interrupt it, they have stones thrown at them.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so guys back. How are you guys gonna get honest disguise? Or are you?
We don't need to. He doesn't
Okay.
need to.
So you guys back at the place. Since you have probably the person who's best at deception gone, it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But go ahead and.
Wait, what? What'd you say?
Onus is the best at deception, so you're doing this whole thing without him.
Yeah.
So I'm
You
guessing.
got
Anyways,
this, bro.
So roll a group check.
So
Everybody who's there, roll.
Is this deception or performance at this point?
It's deception.
everyone
Performance would be any
rolls.
better.
Yeah.
Yep, everyone rolls a deception check half after 16.
Even Onos?
No, he's not.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm still
Everyone's
performing.
We all did pretty good.
Nice.
Wow, you guys are like definitely into this. I'm really good.
It's method acting.
Acting.
They're imagining what it's like to be murderous, rampaging raiders, and it's kind of comfortable.
What?
So when you guys dress up, a lot of kids in this are, whoa, hey, everyone, the Khan's here. Yeah, the Khan. Woo! And they're like cheering. What are you guys gonna do?
Pillage, murder.
Yeah. So Ursak starts lighting torches and throwing them into haystacks and just any flammable.
Hey, we can help with that, but let's make sure we stay away from the nest, all right?
Yes, of course.
I will state to Ursak, do not burn anybody.
That was an oddly specific direction. But okay.
Of course, Reinhardt, we're not here to hurt these people particularly. We just need to cause a bit of a stir.
We just need to cost them a lot in construction
I don't
fees.
give a wizard's ass if you hurt them. Do not burn them.
All right, so you guys run like amongst. You actually split up fairly early, though. Your original plan was to stay together. And well, nobody really gives a signal to Honest. Everyone forgets in the fun and confusion. He's able to pick up pretty quickly that things are starting to happen.
Fire!
So I think it's time for some rabble rousing.
Well, I can
There's
cast my
not-
message.
oh.
It can go pretty far. I don't know if I'm close enough to him.
You would not be close. It only goes like 120 feet, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're quite a bit further than that,
Okay.
fortunately.
As Ursoc's running around, he's yelling things like "For the Khanate" because he heard them saying that before. So
Yep. No, I'm sorry. You guys, this guy's pretty well. There's a lot of shouting, and occasionally you hear one of you feels inspired. You're not quite sure why to say something like, "Where's my horse?" And fire starting. There's chaos erupting. People start running around screaming. You hear people say, "Oh, we're being attacked! We're being attacked!" Occasionally, you actually see some people fighting in the street, like, and you're not sure why they're fighting each other.
fighting each other.
So people try to fight you occasionally, but like basically just a quick exchange and you run off and you're not trying to engage anybody. And then you do that for about probably 30 minutes, another 30 minutes, and then signal to the kids to start going. How are you guys going to try to get Onus?
Ursoc is going to make it look like he is kidnapping Onus.
So Onus is, are you going to try to use Barkley magic to hold the crowd? Or are you going to like let them notice that things are going wrong at some point?
I would try to hold it for a little bit, just so that it could kind of get started, set a couple of fires, so that by the time they kind of turn around and realize what's going on, it seems enough out of control that there's chaos.
Okay, so you do that, and when you do that, the crowd, like, some of them smell like, do I smell? Is that, and then I'll like turn around, what the heck? And it's like, my ship's on fire. I'm like, oh, that's my inn. And people just scatter all over. They call it
You should
chaos.
stuff like, it's the Khanate, they're attacking, just, to...
And
Raiders!
you do hear a couple of voices saying that sound awfully young to Onos, but in the confusion, you're not sure anybody else really can tell that that's the case. And Onos himself yells Raiders. Roll me a deception check. I'm just going to see if Onos can help. Yes. Wow, this poor town is being attacked by the whole Khanate.
First time
You guys-
we rolled so much in charisma so well.
I'm really surprised. I guess you guys. Well, your next fight's gonna suck. Is all I can say. Just all your good rolls now. So you guys are able to. The kids sneak you out. I mean, you go over and under and around and through stuff. Sometimes it doesn't smell very good. You're not clean at the end of it, but you do get loaded into a little skiff. And one of them, when they get you there, they say, "Yeah, the guy who owned this got stabbed last night. Anyways, he's probably. I don't know if he'll even survive." So go ahead and take it. This will get you. This should get you a ways. Just don't go into where the water's dark. It's like this kid saying, like he knows anything. I've heard that's bad for a little boat like this.
Tip the man.
It's bad for all boats.
Ursoc, tip the man.
Ursoc tosses them a bag of 10 gold.
Wow.
They're the richest folks in town now.
That's the idea. I want to make friends that last.
So yeah, you guys. So as you guys are sailing away, Reinhard is staring sadly, burning in the smoke and the streams. But you guys are able to get away. Geth steers you quite deftly, and as you're sailing along the coast, you see a few ships off in the distance, but none that are too close. One of them seems to be following you, but it gets dark before they get, within probably good spotting distance, and Geth's able to kind of use some of the coves and to break their line of vision, and you guys are able to get away. You start sailing around. You guys see a city. You don't really know what's going on. You've traveled probably for about 6 hours. As you get there, you see a flag fly that is green and white quarters and a big trident in the middle of it. You guys, are you going to go into the land of the city or keep going? Or
I would
what?
like to do a history check on that flag. See if I can.
You guys don't know anything of the history of this land.
Okay.
You said it was green and white quarters with a trident in the middle?
Yep.
And they're probably pirate city. We should probably not go there.
You see a lot of. Actually, roll me some perception checks. DC is 15. Everyone gets to roll one.
Ooh, everybody.
Well, then,
Wow, nice.
let's see what Kasim can see from here.
Kasim doesn't see anything.
I'm too focused on sailing.
Yes, which makes sense.
Yeah.
The Reinhardt sees some corrals. And he recognizes that they're probably for either horses or cattle. Ursak hears the neighing of horses and smells and can definitely tell the difference between horse crap and cow crap.
That's horse crap.
Like half the words that
86.
come out of your mouth when you say you don't have gold.
Good
I
vintage.
have plenty of gold.
Gold. Does our group not have any gold?
Not for me.
We have what we need.
Well, I have this bag of 10 gold that was with my equipment.
Oh no! I would consider you my best of friends if you give me that. I beg of you.
I'll add that gold into the party.
No, I will stand in the middle.
No, that's a good idea, Ursak. I don't necessarily know if I trust this child abductor yet. That's gonna stick for a while.
Oh, that's sad. All Reinhardt wants is to sell his.
Any time 10 gold transfers around Ursak, it's worth giving all the gold away. Like, just the best thing ever.
Oh, man.
I'll stand in the corner.
It's just like a cat with a laser pointer.
So
He'll
are you-
never get it, but he keeps seeing it.
He's wanting it. So, are you guys going to land at the port?
What do you guys see?
Well, I smell horse crap.
I look
That's
like
all I
a
know.
like a thief now, right?
You guys look not like a thief, like
Like-
step warriors.
Okay, so I don't look like a wizard. That's good.
So that doesn't help answer the question.
Nope.
So are you guys going
What?
to dock here or not? You must choose quickly, or I will choose for you.
I say we just keep moving.
Okay. So is that
Well,
is everyone
how-
good with that or not?
How long have we been on the water?
6 hours.
Is that information going to actually help you?
Yes, actually, because wouldn't Geth have a pretty good idea how far we could get in 6 hours? And knowing how far away the other town was, that would give him an idea as to if we were closer, if this is a town in between.
You guys do not know the shores. You know you have a rough idea of how long it took you to get here via land travel.
Right. So as Geth is a sailor, he might know that 1 hour on sea is equivalent to 4 hours on land, kind of thing.
Which would be great if you were traveling the same way, but you're not. So I guess say it was 6 hours.
Okay.
Let me know if that actually helps you make a decision.
Well, if you guys don't recognize the town and you've been there
Nope.
before, I say we move on to the next one.
Yes.
I don't recognize where we are. I concur. I
Okay.
agree.
So you keep sailing. Another 3 or 4 hours later, you come across another town. This one's flying the same flag out of off of one of like a taller building made out of stone. Ursak smells horse crap again.
Still horse crap.
Reinhardt, again, notices that there are quite a bit of facilities with stuff for handling horses or livestock and things like that. Stop or not?
I feel like we should make port here because nothing has changed since the last time.
Fine.
You said there were
Are
horses,
you,
right?
are you making port? Or were you
We could-
joking? I wasn't sure.
I'm serious. I mean,
You do not recognize this town.
we do not.
Yeah, if we don't recognize it, I wouldn't stop here.
All right, let's keep going.
Reinhardt is not caring at this moment.
Okay, you keep going. Another 3 hours later, the sun's coming up. You're all very impressed with Geth's marvelous skill. He almost makes it look easy, but every now and then curses and swears, and you realize that he has a sailing background. This is still pretty tough. You on the distance, you see some walls that you think you recognize, and it is flying a flag. It is white with a red circle in the center of it. And yes, it looks like Japan.
I say we're going to Japan. Does anybody
is-
recognize this city?
The walls look familiar.
We can always
Maybe if
land.
you take a closer look.
I'll do perception.
I'm not positive.
Yeah, so Ursak can make a perception check.
As well.
Just Ursak.
Oh, just their sock. Boom!
Pretty sure this is Sauron.
I'm pretty sure this is Sauron.
Good.
Fine.
Sure is good enough.
Okay.
It seems familiar from when I ran away from the guards when I first met these guys.
Wait, you ran away?
Yeah,
Okay, remember, we have to avoid the guards until I get my paperwork.
and
What paperwork?
no magic.
Oh, by the way, Onos, you need paperwork.
I don't have paperwork.
And you're not a magic caster.
We'll
I know,
get that-
I don't
we'll
have
get that-
paperwork.
We'll get that taken care of when we meet up with Zachariah.
Okay, so we'll
No
not land
magic.
at the docks. We'll land offshore away from the city and then walk in through how we came in the first time.
Okay. So you guys land somewhere else. You basically wreck the boat in the process, and you get wet. But you get close enough, you can kind of walk up to the shore. You kind of Geth hits a rock. It's still dark. This is not shore. He's from waters he's extremely familiar with. So as you go into
Yep.
shallower area, it's done. You are able to walk up to the city. When you get to the spot where you're looking to go, that gate that was not guarded before, there are some guards there. And there's a hole, not a gate.
How many guards?
There are 2 that you see in the soft morning light.
I can just gonna whisper to the group. I can just put them to sleep and we can just walk on by.
Well, what happens if you're unsuccessful?
Then we're attacking guards and it gets ugly.
Then I apologize for our idiot companion.
I don't know if you guys know these guards. In fact, I know that you don't know these guards. That probably won't work in Sauron. It's going
Perhaps
to
we
be
can use this.
we either pay them, we get beaten, or we find a way to sneak past them.
Probably distract them into moving somewhere else and we can just sneak on by.
Well, someone that's got papers is going to have to do the distracting.
I have papers, and the guards and I are on fairly good terms here. So I'll try to distract them and see what I can do. You guys, I guess we'll try to sneak past them, and I'll walk into the city.
Let's make them look the other way when you're talking to them. And we'll just sneak up behind
Yes, that is how distractions work.
them. I don't know.
Okay, so what do you do?
Ursak's gonna walk up to him. I'm gonna try to figure out if these are guards that I've dealt with already in the city. Like, met. Do you want me to roll anything for that?
Yeah, you have to roll a perception check. You can't see them that well again. There's not a lot of light.
Yeah.
You don't recognize their faces. You do think their gear is a little bit better than most of the stuff you've seen so far.
Excuse me, guards, I had a question for you, and I kind of...
Move along. This isn't a gate. It's a breach in the wall. Go to the gate. They'll check you there.
Okay, will do.
You hear them muttering.
I'll cast a
Why
message to Ursak and say, bitch.
does everybody try to come through this area? Jeez, it's not like this is a gate ever. Just knock the hole out. Jeez.
Which, I'm sorry, I came from the shore, and I'm kind of turned around. Can you show me where the gate's at?
You came from the shore. You're just trying to avoid paying the docking fees, huh?
No.
I don't think we can help a dock fee dodger.
How much are the docking fees? Do you
20
know?
gold a day.
I'm sorry?
20 gold a day.
20 gold a day? Well, if I gave you 20 gold, would you allow me to just pass through here to save me some time?
Why would you want to go back here? He's not saying no. He's got his hand out. Why would you want to go back here?
It's just convenient. My ship is crashed ashore, and I need to get into the city to
Oh, the
repair.
pirates.
Yes.
Running from the pirates. Heard that happens a lot lately.
Yes, they have been quite the problem. And as I'm talking to them, I'm trying to shift them away from the whole, just slowly walking.
One is having a conversation with the other one's keeping his eyes out. They seem to be assigned to guard as opposed to pass people through.
Okay. Have either of you had any problems with the pirates recently? I'm trying to include.
We're not sailors. We're just guards. We personally haven't seen them. They don't really come into the dock, fortunately. They're not bold enough for that.
I can understand why. You guys both seem pretty formidable.
But really, do you have your papers?
Oh yes, of course. So I pull out my papers and show.
And again, this isn't a game. Oh, Ursa. I've heard your name. You're worked at Zachariah, the Archmage, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I do work for Zachariah.
Well, I guess we can let you through here, but don't dawdle. Again, wouldn't want to get caught with Yair. It wouldn't look good for either of us.
So I have a compatriot here with me as well. Is it all right if we just get our stuff and move through here? She works for Zachariah as well.
Is it Nasima? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Let me see your papers. Make sure this is all on the up and up, so to speak. Looks at her papers. Nasima, nope, marked as dangerous. You better go through the main gate.
Surely you guys could just let our group in. If I gave you the 20 gold, you guys would be kind enough to save us the time, right?
If somebody found out we let someone marked as dangerous through the breach in the wall, it cost us our jobs. At the best.
Just meet Nasima at inside and then have her sneak in because she's sneaky. Then again, I guess most of our party is marked as dangerous except for Ursak, who ran away.
So yeah, I've got 2 people marked as dangerous and 2 people that don't have papers at all.
Yep.
So,
So Nasima, in the pressure here, she sees Ursak start to stumble a little bit. Convulsively, her fingers grasp around the disc in her hands. The one guard jumps back a little bit, levels his weapon, and you guys are engulfed in darkness.
okay, Ursak is going to try to get the other people through the hole while it's dark.
Yeah, while seeing this dark bubble, we start moving in.
Let's see, hold on. So, as you guys are going through this space, man, she's got her character sheet upset. Not very well.
I always forget she can do that. I make my life so much easier.
Does a 19 hit Geth?
Yes.
Geth takes 6 damage. Does a 17 hit Onus?
Yes.
Onus takes 5 damage.
Do I still have my mage armor?
No.
I'm just wondering.
You never cast mage. When did you last cast mage armor? You never even
time
said
ago. But it's cool.
when.
It's been a while already. It's already nightfall. I highly doubt it's still on.
I think you cast it the night before. It's been 24 hours.
It only lasts 8 hours, I think.
Correct.
Yeah.
We've been sailing for that much time.
Yeah, we've been sailing, 12 hours?
About that, yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys are able to get through, stumbling about. You hit the wall. One of you hits the wall. One of you knocks another people. You're not sure. Reinhardt, are you trying to go through as well?
Yeah.
All right. Does a 13 hit you?
I'll use shield to not get hit.
Yeah. Okay. You see kind of this kick coming in your third eye, so to speak. So you're able to realize it's there. So go ahead, you use up your first level spell slot, right?
Yeah. Got a ton of them. So
If by time you mean 4?
Two more.
2 more, so 3. Okay. All right. Anybody else trying to go through? Ursa?
Does Nasima try to go through? Please say yes.
You don't know. You cannot see anything.
You should probably go and just assume she's going to go through.
I'm actually going to stay.
Okay.
And I'm going to fall to the ground.
All right. So the dark. So you. Okay.
I would
so
actually, not because Ursak just decided to go to the ground, I was actually going to do this while passing through. Passing through, I would like to cast Minor Illusion to create a little monster on the ground.
Where are you casting this? Remember, you can't see anything.
Just gotta be anywhere. Doesn't have to be anywhere.
Where? You can't see anything.
Forget it then.
Like, where are you trying to put it?
Like when I was trying to pass through the hole.
That's where you were passing, so you're trying to put it in the hole? Is that
The
what you're
gate
saying?
where I got hit. I wanted to cast it like a little monster. Just to distract them a little bit.
Distract
The guards.
Who?
The guards.
the cards. Okay, so you cast Minor Illusion and you go through the gate. You have no idea what happens after that. And you don't know where you cast it because you can't see anything. I assume you try to cast it at the same location where you got hit.
Yes.
Okay.
Like
So
a
there's,
mini devil singing.
Does a 17 hit you?
Yep.
You take 6 bludgeoning. You hear a scream. And... And the darkness disappears in a moment. A few minutes, this is 30 seconds later, so the rest of you are cleared out. And Nassim's on the ground. Urshak, you're on the ground. The guards are shifting their weapons around, trying to see something.
What happened? What was that?
They level their weapons at you. That's what we're gonna ask you, Urshak.
You guys know I don't do any of that kind of stuff. I have no idea. I just have my axes and that's it.
You're right. Probably wasn't you. And they poke Nassim with their swords, and she's still kind of whimpering on the ground. It's probably this one. She's marked as dangerous. That's the kind of thing she could do. Heard she's got some kind of magical type abilities. Yep. All right.
You can see she's really suffering. Surely you can just let us be on our way.
I'm gonna go get the captain. I'll be back with some reinforcements to arrest her. All right. Hurry up. All right, Urshak. You don't want to get arrested. You better get out of here.
Urshak gets out of there.
You
Actually,
could've-
no. Urshak is gonna try to convince them to let her go. Guys, surely, I mean, you can see she's suffering in pain. Just let me take her through. We'll go through the
Richard, are you dying?
I
What?
think he died.
Are you dying? It sounded like you were having some
No.
issues over there.
Your mic went crazy again.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
Aaron, go ahead.
Just you can see she's suffering. She's definitely in pain. We'll go through the main gate. We'll take care of that, and we'll just be on.
No, she cast a spell on some guards city boundaries. She's already marked as dangerous. It's definitely going to be. I don't know if she'll be able to get back in the city after this. Maybe you're. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you should probably point to that. If you guys look around, Reinhardt cast that illusion. There's something to blame the
So-
darkness on.
Unless he's maintaining visual contact with it, that illusion spell is no longer active. So is Reinhardt staying in view?
Hell no.
I would have disappeared immediately then if he couldn't see through the darkness. But okay.
Well, by view I mean physical view. Because he's around a corner, behind a wall. He's that
Right.
line
You
of
mean that?
effect.
Oh yeah, I could probably do that.
No. I mean, if you do not have line of effect, you cannot cast this. You cannot maintain a spell there.
Okay, I'm good. Good luck, Ursak.
What does that mean? That's saying that you're good.
saying that he's
Not.
going away from line of effect.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm doing an Ursak first session.
Well, what's the range on that spell?
30 feet.
30 feet. Okay.
So what just happened? I'm sorry, I'm lost a little
So
bit.
there's no spell. Bonus.
I know there's no illusion, but what did the guy just say to me?
You say, you better get out of here if you don't want to get arrested.
Oh, I think you're probably right, but I really don't think she's in a state where she can be dealing with this. We need to get her some kind of medical help. Look at her. She's something's wrong with her.
Roll a check. That may help you succeed more.
What kind of check? What are you trying to do with yourself?
I guess convince them, so be deceptive and that convince them that
All right, roll a
she
deception
didn't do it. No, my one low roll on this on
check. Whether she did it or not isn't for you or I to decide. I'll let the captain decide what to do with her, but she can't leave here until he gets here.
Well, perhaps then you can do me a favor. Let me stay here as a witness, and perhaps I can convince the captain to help her get medical.
If you want to stay, it's your choice, but I think you'll just get arrested or something. I'm trying to help you out.
All right, I'll take your advice. I'm gonna go off.
Okay. All right, so you guys are in the city, minus Nsima. What do you do? Go to the tavern? You go to the tavern, you get there. It is early morning. Kasim, you're eating breakfast with Yassine, Lamia, and Zachariah. When the doors open and there is a horde of step warriors that look a lot like Kibaste and his crew right now. Come in.
Okay, how much do they look like the boss day in this crew?
They don't look them personally, but they look, like they're the same manner of dress, face paint, that kind of
Kasim!
Okay, so I'm going to loosen my sword in its scabbard, but go back to eating. Just, be very ready for the attack.
And that's when Reinhardt says, Kasim!
Oh, Reinhardt?
Yeah.
Reinhardt, you still feel like you need to
I know.
betray Kasim. Okay.
Ursak left, I don't know. What's up, Kasim? Missed ya.
Welcome back. Where is everyone?
So Geth and Onus are with him. Ursak's going to come in like a minute later.
Oh, okay. Who are your new companions?
Oh, you know Geff already. And that's...
it's good to see you again, Kazim.
And over there's the tiefling bard that, Takaraz sent us to get.
Whose name happens to be Onos. And it's a pleasure to meet you.
Certainly. Onos stemming from the term sonos, meaning for music?
It is now.
Yes!
I used to associate it with
My
the guys
master
that wouldn't
tried to
give me
teach
that
me
role.
music many times, but unfortunately, and I hold up my stubby fingers, these are not the hands of a musician.
Drummer.
It is good to meet you. Please, come in, sit down. Why are you wearing raider garb?
I guess you could say we had to make a quick escape from where we were before.
Then that would be normal.
Excellent.
Can I have some of what you're eating, Kasim? I'm quite hungry.
Yes, I
Ursak
strangely enough,
keeps all the money.
that probably is wise. Where is Ursak?
I don't know.
Ursak, as soon as Kasim asks that, Ursak opens the door and walks in.
Ursak. Where is the rest of our party? I am highly confused of
Kasim-
going
Kasim's
By the
like-
rest of our party, you mean Nasima, I assume. And that is a matter I must talk to our master about.
He is still very fatigued from the battle. If it is something we can handle on our own, that I would suggest.
He's there. He hears
Oh,
Ursak say,
okay.
remember he's there with Yassine and Lamia.
Mhm.
He says, "What?" He raises his head. What is it? He doesn't look quite as fatigued as he did yesterday, by the way. What is it?
Something happened. Yes, master. Something happened outside the city to Nasima. The guards saw it, and they've taken her and they've arrested her. They were kind enough to me to let me leave. But
What? They arrested one of mine after what I did for this city? Stands up.
They keep charging me every time when I get inside the city.
Reinhardt, now is not the time.
The table explodes in a wave of force, and
I whistle like,
Zachariah marches out. He's not touching anything like doors blast off hinges. He's marching. Do you guys follow him or not?
Yeah, I would follow.
Yes.
I will follow grabbing Kasim's plate.
I will follow Zachariah to the depths of hell at this point, after everything I've seen him do.
I'm gonna take the plate with me.
Okay, take the plate with you.
He's growling. Which gate is she at?
I think she'll be at the main gate, master.
Wasn't she in the gate that was just broken?
That
Main
was the
gate.
hole.
All right. He starts walking off. As he's walking, anytime he sees a guard, he stretches out his hand and they just get like tossed 20 feet.
I love Zachariah so much.
You cannot treat my people this way. Keeps going through. At one point, there's like a small squad that runs up with somebody that looks important, and they said, Archmage, come, poof! Just pulls it out. Gets up to the main gate, says, where is Nasima? And people start looking around. Who? What? What's going on? What are you talking about? And he grabs one of the guards. Only he reaches out his hand as if he's grabbing him, but he's not physically grabbing the guard. And the guy lifts up off the ground and kind of motion with Zachariah's arm. He says, where is she? When he says it, his voice booms.
Where's Rachel?
Richard, your cousin again.
The wall like shakes a little bit. Some of the like nearby structures, like roof sags in, kind of thing. Nobody there has any idea what's going on. They seem to be panicking.
I'm suddenly seeing like just flashes of Zachariah in a Sith cape. I don't know why.
Kasim, what were you eating? Chicken? I imagine I'm just eating chicken while I'm just seeing all this shit happening.
It was breakfast. Most likely it was gruel. Gruel and sausage.
Zachariah says, useless, tosses the guy down. Turns around. I will speak to the mayor now. He starts walking through. Now he's like walking directly through buildings towards the mayor's like offices, basically.
I will walk through the buildings as well.
Yeah, at this point I'm just following him. I have no idea what to do at this point.
And if I see a family just sitting, eating some dinner, I will grab one of their drinks.
So you probably won't see them eating dinner, but you may see them eating breakfast. So he's like knocking through buildings, roofs go flying.
Ursak gets a devilish grin on his face as he follows his master.
Ursak, where did this incident occur?
There was a hole in the wall, but they said they were going to take her to the main gate.
Perhaps I should go investigate this hole to see if she's being transferred yet. Where is it?
And I just point the direction.
Very well, thank you. He recognizes the direction as the hole.
The hole, okay. So that's where Kasim runs.
Okay. So as you guys are getting further or closer to where the mayor's house is, you notice that while Zachariah is doing quite a bit of destruction, there's already a number of buildings that have been knocked down. He stops in front of the Arch Mayor's offices and booms again. Where is Nasima? Where is, and then when he says that, the front wall comes off of the offices and just it's tossed to the side. You see a bunch of people crouching inside. Where is the Arch Mayor? I'm gonna speak with him now. And you see somebody looks like they're ducking behind something, and Zachariah reaches out his hand as if to, grab him. You hear a squeal. This guy gets yanked out in front of him, tossed on the ground. Where is Nasima? She is one of my warriors, and I am told that your men have taken her, and that she is suffering. The Archmayor says, I have no idea what's going on. I don't mean any offense, Archmage, blah, blah, blah. He's being pretty useless. As that's going on, somebody else who looks important but battered, I think it's the same guy that was trying to walk up before that was looking important. His armor is dented. He's got some blood trickling down his temple. Archmage, do you mean the one that travels with you that is cloaked in shadows? And at that, Zachariah, the cacophony stops, and he looks around and says, where is she? And behind him, there are a couple of guards carrying Nasima. All right, Kasim, when you get to the wall, you see two guards standing there, on the other side of the wall, looking very, again, better equipped, they're handling themselves better than the guards that are normally at the gates.
Okay, do I recognize either of them as anyone who's given me trouble before?
No, that's such a long list that you probably wouldn't recognize them anyways.
Well, in particular, I'm thinking of that guy at the back gate that I almost cut it to ribbons for cheating us, and the guy at the mayor's house who extorted money from me in a time of crisis.
Nope, neither of those guys.
Okay.
Neither of those guys. Both of those guys are probably less trained and capable of these two.
Good, these guys stand a chance. For now.
Okay, so I go up to him. Please, your attention. You took into custody a woman here. She...
This isn't a gate. Move along.
Yes, I understand, but there is great destruction being wrought upon your city. And if I do not find this woman, even
What?
further...
Where?
The Archmage Zachariah looks for this woman.
The Archmage has got mad. All is lost, and they run off. Like, into the city.
We out of here, bro.
No, they're heading towards where the trouble probably would have been.
Okay, I'm going to try and trip one of them as they pass.
Are you
Don't attack a guard.
okay?
I'm not attacking. This is an actual trip, grapple, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to
I don't
try
know
and...
what, Arlo. Let's just think about this. If you were running and somebody tried to trip you, would you consider that to be what exactly?
Okay, then I'll try and grapple him. I'm going to try and
Better
grab his
question.
arm. and
How
pull
has
him over.
past confrontations with guards gone for you, Arlo?
Arlo personally has a big problem with authority.
It's not just personally. Authority so far in this place has been pretty shoddy.
They're dicks.
I don't know what your guys' expectations are, but
Airsoft's been great with the guards.
it's actually been pretty good overall.
I've had no problems.
You guys are breaking the law all the time. And they try to arrest you, and you punch them when they try to do that. I don't know exactly what outcomes you're expecting from these encounters.
From my personal experience, they frequently make up the law, they extort, and they do their jobs rather poorly anyway.
Yeah, and decide to pick fights with them. So
Maybe extorting is their job.
go ahead and make an attack roll if you would like.
Okay,
to
so
do
I'm going to try and grab the arm of one of them to stop him and, ask him more information. It will technically be a grapple check because that is the only way to do it mechanically.
Well, if you're trying to force him to stop, that will be a grapple check. Yes. You're just trying to grab his arm and ask him to pay attention. That's not a grapple check.
You completely broke up. I'm not entirely certain of anything you said.
If you are trying to force him to stop, that is a grapple check. Yes.
Okay.
If you are just trying to grab his arm and to get his attention, that is not a grapple check. Which are you trying to do?
Well,
You're breaking up really bad, Bowden. It's really hard to hear you.
I am trying to grab his arm and get his attention, but in order to do that,
Are you trying to force him to stop or not?
Yeah, I didn't understand that one either.
Are you trying to force him to stop?
Are you trying to force them to stop?
I don't know if force so much as encourage. I'm not trying to.
Encourage as in, hey, stopping would be great.
Yeah, I, at this point, does he seem like he's running? Does it seem like, from my perspective, that grabbing him on the arm would be likely to make him stop?
You've got 5 seconds to choose. And there's no way for you to probably know that. He seems to be going off at a...
Is he running all
turn look
out?
on his face. If he's running all out, he would not be in a position to even try to grab his arm. So I'm assuming this is happening in a moment before he starts moving away from you. Otherwise, you won't have the option.
Okay. I'll go ahead and try and grab his arm and stop him. Halt his movement.
Again, so you are trying to focus. That is a grapple check. So I believe that's an athletics check on your part, or is it melee attack?
It's just I
think strength.
actually looked it up recently. I thought it was just an athletics versus
Athletics.
Oh no,
It's an opposed check, I think. It
it is an opposed check. Yeah. I'm just trying to remember if it was athletics opposed check or if it was just a strength opposed check.
I thought it was just straight up strength.
Yeah, I mean, too.
Okay.
Well, I know they get to do athletics or acrobatics. So that's an athletics check. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Good luck, bro.
He seems pretty good at athletics.
Oh,
I'm
He
pretty
is
good,
really
but not
This
good
guy-
enough.
Yeah, you gotta strike up really like the rope. This guy, so Kasim tries to grab him, and the guy twists your arm, pushes you back, and stumble away, and says, "So you're part of the problem too. You rebelled as well." And
No, I'm just looking for information.
oh, attack you. Maybe my connection is really bad right now. A 13 is a hit your AC.
No, it does not.
Okay. The other guy attacks you.
I thought the
10
other.
injury AC.
Okay, no, it does not. So
This is in the moment before they ran off. Otherwise,
Okay.
again, they would already be gone. Okay.
okay.
You want to roll initiative?
Where's my character?
Where's? Oh yeah, we're probably on the wrong map. Huh? Hold on, everyone. You're going back to the one where Casim is on movie tokens. And by movie tokens, I mean copy and paste. Since as far as I know, there isn't a way to actually move your tokens. It's just very annoying.
And I was wondering if I should have gone with Kasim.
I will never know.
Nah, I'm glad I didn't go.
Don't worry, Zachariah will fix all of this, even if he has to destroy the entire city.
I'm just enjoying this thing while meeting.
Boom!
By the way, am I to assume that I had a long rest?
Yes, you had a long rest. You're full health.
Speaking of which,
What?
what about people who are on the ship? Were we resting?
You had a long rest, yeah, including Geth, because most of the time you're not having to really do a whole lot while you're.
Then divination rolls.
I brought us out to smooth water, told someone to take the thing, and I slept.
Yeah, exactly.
The GM had mercy on us.
I do that sometimes. Not often. Actually, I do have mercy on you.
Pretty often.
Pretty often. All right, sorry, I lost the tokens I had, so look at this. Rerolls. Did not actually make much difference. Steam, you have an epic initiative.
That
All right.
I do.
So now they pull out their short sword along with their long swords, and they're both going to attack you. Ah, that's the long sword. I think those both miss you.
Yep.
And the short sword looks like the short sword hits.
Yep.
So 7 piercing. The other guy's gonna attack you.
Wait.
Both hit. What?
Oh, that was one guy that attacked 4 times. Okay.
3 times. And you do 2 long sword attacks and short sword, and this next guy, because you're last in the initiative order. So I think those both hit, unless you can do something.
No, I don't have anything.
So that's 12 in the short sword. I think that hits. So it's another 4, so that's total of 16 damage from that guy's attack. Your turn.
Hold on, I gotta tally up all my losses.
16.
Total?
Yes. That's
Oh,
why I said.
okay.
Yeah, that's why I said. Oh wait,
Okay.
did you not apply the short sword's 7 damage from before?
I did not yet, no.
Okay, so that's be 23 total. So just another 7 off if you haven't done it already.
Okay, I am going to take full defense. I was just asking questions.
Are you gonna roll a check? If you're trying to convince him, like, what are you trying to convince him to not fight, right? So go ahead and roll a persuasion check,
Okay.
and then play out the. That's pretty good. Well, that's probably successful.
I was just seeking information. I was trying to limit the damage. Please stop now before the city is lost. I'm being a little dramatic, I admit.
Said, we would arrest you. We don't have time. And they run off. Better make sure we don't see you again, Kasim.
How would they know even who I was?
Yes, how would they know that?
We're famous.
How many people work for Zachariah? As far
So
as
far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 people.
And he's a pretty big deal. So you guys are actually a pretty big deal too.
Especially Ursa, because he's everyone's hero in this city.
All right, so they run off.
Okay, well, nothing to do here, so I'll just head back to where all the noise is happening.
It's eerily quiet at this point. All right, so So as you get up there, you see Zachariah cast a spell. A shimmering disc of force appears. Lamia and Nassim pick up Nassima layer on the disc, and they start walking back toward the inn. When they get to the inn, Zachariah waves his hand at the door, and it is fixed. Hand is a great spell, by the way. And he goes in and he takes a seat upstairs. What are you guys doing?
Taking a short rest so I can heal.
Guys, that was pretty wizard. What happened to Hugasim?
Couple of guards. They mistook me for a punching bag.
They did that a lot with you.
Yeah, because we don't seem to have much luck with the guards in this town, I'd say.
Okay, well,
That is an accurate statement.
guess we're waiting.
Okay. So,
Zachariah,
Kent, you're
Out.
muted, by the way.
Can I take
Second.
2 short rests?
what do you mean 2 short rests? Why would you need to take 2 short rests?
so he can use all of his hit dice.
You can use all your hit dice at the end of 1 short rest.
No, I can
Or
use-
instead of that, if you're going to take a short rest, I'll take a short rest while I'm there as well.
No, you can't use second wind twice.
Okay.
That is a
Well-
great way to try to avoid using hit dice, but no.
I'll take a
Okay.
short rest as well because I have some health to recover from when we went through the wall or the black space. At which point I would be using Song of Rest. So anyone that's going to take a short rest in that area or could hear me gets 1d6 of health back.
Okay. You do
I'll
attract
take
this small crowd, but not too much.
I want you to write a song for that, by the way.
Oh, I
Zachariah,
will.
Zachariah comes down after about 30 minutes and says, I wish this town had a good cleric. And sits himself at the table. So, it seems you recovered Onus. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for saving me.
Of course, you're one of mine.
Okay. I am going to. What would it be to have an epiphany about the old man who, well, got that guy back on his feet after he was pretty much dead?
Wisdom check.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, sorry, but I have to go. I have something I have to do tonight. However you guys want to use my character to continue, or if you just want to have him rest, whatever works for me, I'm not opposed.
Yeah, we'll probably, first of all, I'll take control. Saying we letting the rest of the party control your character is a very dangerous thing. Okay? It's a lot of trust.
And Onus decides to run off the cliff to his death and leave
He
everything
suddenly
in
gives
his
me
will
all
to
of his
Ursa.
gear and dives into the ocean and sinks.
DM is allowed to play my character.
Decides to seduce the nearest woman. Turns out she's a succubus.
That's still not necessarily a problem.
Onus decides he wants to continue running around in just pants.
Just-
That is also acceptable.
I
That's not
can't
awesome.
have a good one.
It's not exclusive from the other options. I know I have one.
So you can.
So you can-
Thanks for the kindness, gentlemen, and I'll see you next week.
yeah, bye.
All
Okay.
right. So we're going to say Onus is kind of off entertaining people basically for a while.
Okay.
Zachariah says, all right, well, report.
But that wisdom check, by the way.
He's a really cool old man.
That was one
And you
cool
think you should
man.
probably meet Zachariah. But you're not drawing the conclusion that you wanted to draw.
Okay.
We, as you see, we found Onus. We did our best to distract the pirates. Hopefully, that'll keep them from attacking. We kind of ransacked a small town as
Whoa, what? I should
Con-
distract the pirates and you ransack the town?
Ursak decided to burn the entire place down.
Cognate.
When you say Kane, Sisquin comes over. You did what?
we had very
She grabs her sock. Not like she's trying to punch him, but just like making sure she has his full attention. What did you do?
I told him not to burn.
We had to convince the pirates that there was a more pressing matter. And I think we were successful in our...
How many of my people will die because you convinced them that the Kane is trying to attack a town? Which town was it?
It was... That's a very good question. It was the town of Gersadon.
Good. Ah, I mean that's in Connie territory, but everybody knows it's a pirate holdout. Great. You probably just murdered all the people along the coast. I'm not sure we can stay here. She starts walking back towards her group. Sebastia stands. No, we have worked with far worse than them. We need to get the Heptarchy out of our lands. And she's like, she leaves, obviously angry. And Sebastia kind of like looks at you guys, arms full. I thought you were men of honor.
We had no other choice to succeed in our greater goal.
I did say we could just
Actually,
leave.
at that point, when he says, "I thought you were men of honor," Kasim's going to loudly scoff and storm out.
Okay.
Oh, no.
No, it's more pot calling the kettle black. These guys, how could you let so many people die? Well, we did attack you while you were defending the people, but how could you?
So Zechariah nods at Ursak's statement and says, I think they understand that sentiment quite well, Ursak. So you sacked the town, you freed Onos. Anything else to report?
Nasima's holding a disc that is probably linked to the Shadow Dragon. Whenever somebody else...
Shadow Dragon?
Yeah.
Why did you not tell me about the Shadow Dragon before? That is a big problem.
Yeah, it helps when I'm not being gagged and you're like pretty much telling them to
I wasn't
cut my
asking
head
just
off.
you personally, Reinhardt.
Oh, okay.
There are others here as well. You were gagged last time because you needed to be controlled. If you're not careful, I'll assume that that's still the case. I believe you're under the effect of the spell still, yes?
No.
He reaches out, and there is some warmth starting to kind of surround your head a little bit. Are you lying to me?
What is that? Is it like some of the truth or something?
No, it's like warmth as in
Fire?
Fire. As you're hesitating, it starts to like see flickers of like phantom flame and a ball around your head.
I will fight the case again.
Okay, roll a wisdom save.
I will use my... fuck that. I got two. Bad day to use that right now. Oh, fuck.
Okay. You start trying to cast Shatter on the group, thinking that the gig is up, basically.
It's been up like forever.
What?
Well, it's been up like forever.
Well, wait. I didn't say the spell was rational.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so you see, so this has not hit you yet. You see this surge of weave energy coming towards you. You see kind of almost before it happens. It's like, again, this is prescient. You see it coming. What does Reinhardt do? Like, and you see, like, it's like slow motion. This stuff's flowing kind of around and in between everybody else coming towards you, like thick molasses. So this was in your vision, though part of you somehow knows it's actually moving at lightning speed.
You mean attack from Takaraya?
No, this is flowing in and around everybody else. This is definitely from the spell. This is
okay.
that damage is coming towards you. I'm trying to help you visualize it a little bit.
Okay.
What do you do?
I would like to block my mind with shield and probably like combine it with a sword of elements. I don't know.
Okay.
And like try to reduce the damage and try to protect myself.
So you're trying to put up defensive barriers.
Yes.
A shield raises your AC, and absorb elements absorbs energy. What kinds of energy does it absorb?
I don't think it will not absorb whatever this is. I'm pretty sure. It's
What kind of it?
like acid, fire, lightning.
So psychic is not included.
No, it's not psychic.
Okay. All right. So as you start to weave these spells, and again, you're amazed at how fast you're going. It's almost as if you're trying to cast them. You are casting them before you were casting them, if that makes sense. You wrap yourself in, and there's suddenly a shield, and this absorb elements like spell, they do land, but the damage, they have no effect on the damage at all. You take 38 points of damage, you're unconscious. All right, so you guys see this energy coalesce around Reinhardt, and basically it's like he was sitting there, like semi-casually, starting to get really tense when the fire was around him, and then all of a sudden, he was like in a different position. Like his fingers were up as if he was casting spells, but you didn't see the movement in between that happen. And then he sags in the chair and he's bleeding out of his various orifices again.
What? Why did?
And Zachariah says, so he still is under the gaze.
Yes, Master. He had
Yes.
one.
He looks at Geth. Can you help him?
Yes, of course.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to interrupt you, Urshak.
No. He had another instance of this earlier today as well. It seems like they're becoming almost more frequent than they were before.
So he's fighting it. That is good. All right, Reinhardt, you've got 7 hit points. When you wake up, you see that Zachariah is smiling at you. It seems you are willing to pay the price. It's not an easy price, is it?
It hurts a lot.
Our arts often do, and you are battling the same cleric that I battled. If you witness those energies, you realize that this is no easy thing that you're dealing with. Be proud that you've survived this long. That is a difficult opponent. He reaches out into his bag and brings out a little book. Let me see what I've got for this. And he slides it across. You recognize this as the book that Kellerman had. And then he reaches back in and pulls out another little, like a water bag or something similar to that, but smaller, stopper to the top. Kellerman sent this along with one of the bandits who got there early. Apparently they're getting along better than I thought they would. He said, to the little magic man. I assume that was you.
Oh, you mean me?
They slid it towards Reinhardt.
Oh, okay. So, what is he giving me the book?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And the little pouch of liquid.
Oh,
The
okay.
curative that's awful, but has great effects.
You don't know that it's a curative.
Oh.
What do you want me to do with this?
I thought you were learning. You're a wizard. I just handed you a book. Should be your first instinct what to do with a book as a wizard.
I think I know this one.
I'll open it.
Read it.
Well, you're welcome to study it on your own time. Is there anything else to report?
You should probably not grab the disc. The Shadow Dragon does not like that one bit.
Oh, he doesn't, does he? He starts to stand up.
He almost tried to kill me with some shadow magic.
Energy is like kind of crackling in his eyes. He's like, but then he sags down after a minute. I am too tired to wrestle with a shadow dragon for now. That battle with that cleric is still. We are not fully separate. We are still fighting on some levels. It says, that is a task that I set to you. Let us go to Kellerman and this army of freedom fighters, he says that with kind of a wry grin, and see if we can arrange our counterattack.
Sir, my apologies. Before we leave, there's a matter with Onus and I about papers.
Oh yeah, I need papers too.
Oh, you have not registered with the city. You need
No.
papers. Reinhardt, you already have papers.
My wizard papers.
Your license?
Yeah,
Didn't you? I thought you had tried to get licensed and you had failed.
I did. I need to go and get it. My head really hurts.
Well, you all have an hour or two before we leave. We are a little behind schedule as is.
Very well. Where do I need to go to register, sir?
He raises an eyebrow. You can't solve some of these problems on your own?
We will take care of these things, Master. We will. Where would you have us meet you in an hour?
The main gate.
We will see you then.
All right. So what are you guys doing?
Okay, well, when I stormed out, I decided to go and see how the repairs were going and see if there's any other tasks that I could do to assist. If there's nothing clearly for me to do, then I will seek out the old man again, because he seems to be a community leader of some sort.
So the repairs in the shantytown?
Yeah.
So they're going along. There definitely are things you could do. I mean, you're strong, well-fed. There's lots of stuff you could do. So if you prefer to do that, then you continue to do so. Otherwise, you can seek out the old man. Things are going at a normal pace, though, not adventurer pace.
Okay.
So things happen for adventurers very quickly, and D&D. These things are going at a more normal pace. So the difference between today and yesterday is not huge.
No, mostly I'm looking to see if, like, any of the people that I organized together in groups the day before are still working okay, or if they need any guidance that I might be able to offer, stuff like that. I just want to make sure that whatever I set into motion is still in motion, even if it's not moving quickly. And then at that point, I'll go and seek out the old man.
Okay. You are able to find the old man. I mean, some things are still going, some things have gotten a little ragged. But they are continuing at pace. You're able to straighten them up, get them some discipline. And so then you go find the old man, and he's giving people direction, kind of like taking care of. Basically, most right now, when you find out he's actually able to put up on a shanty, or dig a ditch, actually, or a latrine. He's in there working with everybody else.
Okay. Well, if he's working away, then I can't just stand around, so I'll go ahead and help out wherever they need, obviously, someone strong and healthy.
I'm going to assume, for the sake of argument, because you want to be around where this guy is, you decided to help dig this latrine ditch, which is pretty big. There's enough room for other people. Kind of take off your armor, walk up, kind of taps him on the shoulder. When they see you, they smile and nod, and they give you it's not really a shovel. It's not in that good a shape, but it's more like a board. One end's a little easier to grab with your hands than the other one, and you start helping dig it out. Nobody's talking for a few hours, but you're digging the ditch out. We'll come back to Kasim.
Okay.
Actually, it's not going to be a few hours. Let's say, no, it will be a few hours if nothing else interferes.
Okay. Yeah. Once the job is done, I'll talk with the old man and nothing really specific.
You may not have time to do that now because again, depends on what else happens.
Someone might interrupt you because Master told us to do other stuff.
And digging the latrine. I mean, this is not like a small pit, and it's even digging a small pit takes a while. This is like a community latrine you guys are working on. So.
Yeah. So until someone interrupts, since I didn't hear.
Yep, got it. All right. What's the other group doing?
Ursak, can you lead us to go get our papers? And Reinhardt, you still look a little haggard. Let me
I'm pretty wizard right now. I'm good.
let me help with that real quick.
Are you almost dead? Because that would make sense if you're a pretty wizard.
And I'll give you another 5.
Oh, thanks. You're like a pretty good friend.
Poor Reinhardt. He's got this little rag that he uses just to wipe blood off his face because he knows that.
Geff, you're a really good friend. And I twitch a little bit when I say that to Geff.
To answer your question, Geth, it's been a while since. Well, it hasn't been that long. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been there, but I think I remember where.
That's a long time.
I think I remember where to get you and Onos registered.
Excellent. Thank you. Onos and I'll go with you.
I assume I remember where I'm going.
Yep, you do. That's not enough. you guys get to the place where you get papers. You're able to get them. But since neither Onos or Geth have gotten any official trouble, they don't get marked as being dangerous.
You lucky dogs.
It will
Welcome
cost
to the
you
cool club.
5 gold pieces each to get your papers.
5 gold each. Gotcha. I will take care of that.
Thank
All
you,
right.
sir.
And that takes you probably about 20 minutes. Is Reinhardt going to do anything? Actually, probably takes you 30 minutes.
We'll probably end up like at the wizard registration area.
All right, you walk in. Same woman that was there before is there, and she's like, you're back.
Yes, defending the city from ogres and stuff.
Yeah, everybody had a pitch in that fight. It was quite a battle, wasn't it?
I killed one by myself, so that was.
Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I got to do this right now. Last time I was not in my. They didn't explain to me what spells he wanted, so.
They don't.
So it was merely like more aesthetics spells. So he probably gave me a bad score because of that.
She shrugs. I'm not one of the scorers, so I couldn't tell you anything on that.
So can you punch whatever you're gonna punch over there, and I don't know, and so I can get the test again.
Oh, you're gonna go again? Yeah. Hold on. Mal, get in there. So I go. Someone for a test already? Didn't we just have a battle? They should all be tired. Yeah, just let him in. You've seen this guy before. It probably won't take too long.
Okay.
She waves over. Go ahead.
I look at him. Does spells that do not count as
So you walk into
attacks.
this room.
Yeah.
The room's got a couple of like stones
And
at one end that seem to be holed up as targets. And he's sitting on a chair. So sorry, go ahead.
I'll cast Shatter on one of them.
No, so he's sitting there. What were you saying, Emma?
Oh, I was gonna ask him. Does spells that are not like for combat count?
He's like, you're a mage, a magic user. You decide what counts and what doesn't count.
Well, I'll use that Shatter on the stones.
He hits the stones. They rock a little bit.
I'll cast Ice Knife as a second level spell, which umps the damage a little bit. I need to look up how much it does. I think it's a little
Typically, it'll increase it by the variable amount for each level. So
I got my phone here. It's got really quickly.
okay.
My spells. Ice Knife. Here we go. Second level or higher, the cold damage increases by 1d6. An extra 1d6.
Okay. So it does 6 damage. And then 8 cold.
Oh man, that first
The
damage.
13 cold damage and 1 piercing, I think, is actually what it.
No.
Oh, okay.
6
I thought he
plus
said
8.
it increased the cold damage. Huh?
Oh, does it increase the cold damage?
Yeah, the cold damage increases. Not
Okay,
the
total damage then is the same though, right?
Yeah, and
Okay.
then I'll.
Thank you, Arla. I apologize for that.
And then I'll just cast blur on myself. That's it.
So how many second level slots do you have?
3.
You have 3 already?
Yeah, just all 3 of them right now.
Okay. Says, well, all right. Got what you got. Let's wave his hand a little bit.
You want to see something else?
You gonna do something else?
You already saw what I got, so. Like,
That's what I said. You got what you got.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
That's it. I don't want to drag things out.
All right, you get out to the desk, and you guys are sitting there passing time. A paper comes out of a slot. She picks it up, looks at it. She looks a little pleased, nods a little bit. It's like, all right, the results are in.
Okay.
40 gold. Novice wizard. Good job.
40 gold.
Yeah.
Can you hold on to that? I didn't expect I was going to pay that much, so I got to go back and get 40 gold.
Okay, out of character, how much gold does Reinhardt have?
I have nothing. Orsak has everything.
So he was going to a place where he knows he's going to get charged money with no money.
I didn't expect to get charged.
Okay.
Just hold on to that. I'll be back in a couple of hours.
She's like, oh, don't come in for a test if you can't afford the license. All right.
I walked out. Just try to find a group.
Okay. You succeed. You guys, it's been about 40 minutes by the time Reinhardt meets up back with you, and you're realizing, where's Kasim?
You muted Ursak.
We are nearly out of time. Perhaps we should find Kazim and head to the gate to meet up with Master.
Agreed. We need to continue.
All right. We look around for Kazim.
How do you look like? As you look around, you immediately do not see him.
Did you put the book somewhere?
I know. Go find some guards and see if he's picking a fight.
That's a good idea.
Hey guards, you beating anyone up right now? Oh, I heard you were beating up somebody over on 6th Street. Oh, okay.
Oh, perfect. Short stubby guy? Yeah, that was him. Perfect.
Turns out it's not actually foreigners. It's just dwarves they hate.
Oh, this isn't Kasim. Dang it. Do you have any different short stubby guy somewhere? Oh, yeah. Totally. This guy over on Shantytown. Oh, okay. That's okay.
How are we going to do that? Well, we knew what his... Let's see. What I know about Kazim is that he feels pretty responsible for this whole deal of what happened. So I'm going to go to where Zachariah had assigned him to go, check the damage and hope that that's the area he's in.
Is everyone going with him, or the rest of you going to go to the gate?
And since he didn't actually communicate any of this, you guys are just following him around town.
Ursak just walks off.
He's just like, you see him ponder, look off in the distance for a minute, nod to himself, and then start walking.
I'll meet you at the gate, Ursak.
Okay, 20 minutes. Don't be late.
Is Reinhardt going with him or going to the gate?
I go with them.
Okay.
Who are you going with? With Geth or with...
Ursak.
Yeah, with me.
Which one?
I'll go with Kasim.
No, what?
Kasim's not there.
Oh, sorry, I got distracted. So who's what?
Geth or Ursak? Who are you going with?
Ursak.
Geth is going to the gates. And
Ursak. I need his money.
Okay.
Okay, Ursak, you've got Reinhardt trailing behind you.
Let's go, Reinhardt. We have to find Kazim.
Okay, so as you're walking through Shantytown towards the gates, you kind of look over here. It's probably about 5-10 minutes later, you guys are moving along at a good hustle, and you look over, and as you pass him, you kind of do a double take. You see Kasim covered with dirt and sweat, down in a pit.
Kazim, it's about time I see you embracing your inner self. Way to take off some of that pesky armor. We're running late. Zachariah wants us to meet up with him at the main gate.
Very well. I am sorry. For today, I must go.
The guy puts his arm on Kasim's shoulder and says, "You've been a great help. You're welcome here anytime."
I shall return. And I go and I pick up my armor. Are we near the stream?
No, probably a minute or two, right? Pretty close.
Okay, I'm gonna just jog over the stream and kind of just wash up a little bit so I'm not completely filthy for our master.
Boring.
And then put on.
You do not have time. You do not have time. So you can start donning your armor. Ursak would know that takes long enough that you don't have time to do that and get to the gate where you're supposed to.
Okay, well then I'll just carry my armor.
Well, because he doesn't know that, so.
Oh, okay.
So he's putting on his armor. Kazim, perhaps we can take care of that as soon as we get to the gate. Master asked us to be there at a very specific time. We should head off.
Very well. And so I just gather up all of my equipment and start jogging.
Okay, so you guys get over to the gate. You see Geth. We're going to say that Onos is there with him. And you actually see Nasima as well, looking pale, but and kind of sitting down, looking like she's trying to meditate. You don't see Zachariah for a few minutes, but after you stand there and kind of meet up, then he comes up with Yassine and Lamia. Says, "All right." And there's also they've got a wagon and some like mules and a driver. I brought this with us in case we have any injured. If anyone needs to rest while we travel, they're able to do so. We can probably hold about 3 or 4 in the wagon.
I'm prepared to walk however far we have to go.
So if, say, Reinhardt, for example, or Kassim would like to take...
I'd like to take it.
Okay, so...
Yeah, I'll climb up in the wagon so that I can at least put on my armor as we begin going.
So as you guys start going towards the gate, you see the guards, like, raise their hands aside and then, like, back away. Probably look small. You guys leave and you start traveling towards where Telemann is. Ursok's kind of leading the way. So go ahead.
If we're going slow enough that I could actually keep up reasonably, then I'll go ahead and walk periodically just to make sure that everyone has a chance to get into the cart. Like Nasima, and I don't know if anyone else is hurt actually or not.
Nasima. I don't know why you guys keep saying Nasima. She pronounces it Nasima.
Quick question. Did you put
Yes.
the book that you were mentioning in the handouts, or I'm just looking at spells and picking them out?
The book is not in the handouts. I had some selected, but based on your playstyle, I don't think you'd appreciate them. You guys are all level 5, by the way. Good job surviving. You gained 2,000. I'm pretty sure 2,000 experience points gets you to level 5.
All right.
I don't. What's everyone else at? Because I missed last week.
57.
Oh,
I didn't hand out experience points last week.
so 77 is what we're at now.
Yep.
No. Wait, I have 57. So
Yeah, you got 2,000. Just got
So
2,000.
5,700, right?
So 7,700.
Yes.
Because you had the 5,700 before I gave you experience points, correct?
Correct.
That's what I had.
Okay. I'm going to miss something, but that's cool. I don't know. Okay.
So we're now at 7,700.
Okay.
Yep.
Do.
You're level 5, I think.
Pulling it up right now. Yeah, level 5 is at 6,500. So
That's a big level, 5. All your melees get 2 attacks now, at least the money of them do.
Ooh. I'll tell Kent when he gets home to level his character up.
Cool.
So, a question on that really quick. So, I get 4 attacks. Main hand, offhand, main hand, offhand? Or just main hand,
How
offhand,
do
main
you
hand?
how do you make the offhand attack?
Oh, it's a bonus action, so that would just be 2 main hands, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. That makes
You don't
sense.
actually get an additional action. What you do is when you use your
Right.
action to attack.
It's go twice. Gotcha.
Okay, so glaive, and 1 butt. Got it.
That's the movement I just got.
I have to decide if now is. No, I think not the time to multi-class.
So
Faster now.
Ursok can choose, by the way, 3 of the spirits. If there's any of those in there you want to like put some ideas out.
Okay.
You guys are kind of as you're traveling, kind of meditating, letting all these lessons from all this tumultuous last couple of days sink in.
Question: can I get at least 1 cantrip from the book?
You can trade out 1 level 1 spell for 2 cantrips.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna make the text on the ones I'm choosing red, Bowden, just so you
By the
know.
way, Giovanni, Reinhardt doesn't know all the spells immediately. You're selecting the spells that are in the book. You still need to go through the
Yes,
learning.
I'll do that.
Okay. You'll have 6 hours, 7 hours traveling. You can spend all in the wagon getting some of it. So
Let's see, level 5.
I don't know. How long does it take to learn spells? 8 hours per level?
Ooh, proficiency just went up.
Yep.
Yeah, it went up.
I'm gonna
Cantrip.
check on that. Wizards.
Social friends.
Because if it takes 8 hours, you guys are mysteriously going to take 8 hours to get there instead of 7.
Did you hear that, Bowden, by the way? I'm just gonna mark the text that'll be red for the ones I'm choosing. So that way you know.
Okay, I did not hear that. Thank you for making sure I did.
Is there any chance I can convince the benevolent DM to let me swap out one of my combat maneuvers?
What are the rules for swapping out your combat maneuvers?
That's what I was looking for, but I can't find it right now.
Let's check. There is a rule for it. I know that. Let's see. You learn 2 additional maneuvers of your choice at 7th, 10th, and 15th level. Each time you learn new maneuvers, you can also replace one maneuver you know with a different one.
Okay.
Why were you trying to swap out some maneuvers?
Because realistically, the rally one is diminishing in value, and it wasn't ever that great in value to begin with.
I would invite you to design an alternative. You get to select 3 other maneuvers from kind of that list, plus you can work on maybe one to replace rally if you want to. And those ones you will simply add to your list of options.
So just add 3 more from that list of stuff that we were talking about?
Yep.
Okay.
Just kind of as you're traveling, you're kind of pondering. You are essentially attuning kind of to the sword.
Okay.
And Ursoc, by the way, is attuning to that pouch. And Ursoc does feel very strongly that when he does that, there are risks that go along with that. He doesn't know what they all are at this point. But he seems like the risk-taking type, so.
He is, much of the time.
So how I may be just having issues with my character sheet. How do you get him to level up?
You have to go to class and level up which class.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
Yep.
I was like, I put the experience in. Why isn't it working? Thank you.
Yeah, these sheets aren't perfect yet.
Well, no, that actually is